Hey all! Welcome to the Trash Picture Show. This is episode two. Episode two of If You Go Down to the Woods, August. And I'm going to be focusing on a massive franchise because last Friday was Friday the 13th, and I know this is Friday the 5th, Sunday the 15th, but we're going to be focusing on the Friday franchise. And tonight, I am joined by the absolutely gorgeous, absolutely really radiant, absolutely fantastic Jen's review from the Graves, and her absolutely awesome son, Christian. I'm also joined by the legendary, fantastic, absolute Lothario of a human being, the Souless Trenchcoat, and I have a special guest on the show tonight, the amazingly awesome Collecterman. So, actually, big props to Collecterman for coming on. I know the dude's busy and he's got a lot of stuff going on in the background. But Tristan, thanks a million for coming on, dude. Really appreciate it, okay? And if you haven't checked out his channel, check it out, or I'll come over and bait you ever living shite out you. So the Friday the 13th franchise. Before we get into the individual movies, Jen, Christian, why do you think this franchise has lasted so long, and why do you think it's so popular?
Because it's simplistic. I think like and I'm not saying it's simplistic in a bad way, but it's simplistic and I think everyone can get behind it. I mean, yeah, you can look at it as just some jerk in a hockey mask killing people, and yeah, that's part of it, but there's also a lore and there's so many layers, and as we're going to discuss with all these movies tonight, even though it's kind of a dumb premise, it really isn't. It's fun. It lets people, we're in the woods, there's killing, there's women with boobs hanging out and high heels that are in the forest. Why the fuck do they do that? It's just fun, and I think as with most of us, with you and me, Marty, especially with our ages, it takes us back. It's nostalgic. It's completely nostalgic. So yeah.
I'd agree with all that. Yeah, I've always described Friday the 13th as complex simplicity. It's kind of they're very very simple films, but they build in this, like you said, this very pretty deep and intricate lore throughout the films and an ongoing story that can be forgotten for some films, but they'll bring back little things here and there for fans to just go, "Oh, cool, this is back." It's whereas like Halloween, it's also very simple. It tries to become a little bit more smart and always had a bit higher brow. Chainsaw was always kind of a bit more dirty, and Elm Street had its weird points.
Manic.
Yeah, it was the other ones in the big four are all very manic, whereas Friday is always just very simple and standard. You know what you're getting into with a Friday film. There could be some variations on the premise and how it's executed, but for the most part, you know what you're getting into with Friday, as opposed to the other major slasher franchises.
Yeah, no, you're dead right. It's like they work with a simple formula, but they add that one thing. They kind of keep the recipe the same, but they maybe add a different spice for every kind of one. Also, big shout out to Full Moon and big shout out to Creepy Clown Girl. Thanks a million for joining us, guys. Actually, guys, let me know which is your favorite movie in the franchise in the comments there. Trenchy, why do you think the Friday series is so popular?
Uh, kind of like what Jen and Christian said out of the simplicity, but I feel like it's the most consistent, like they said, of this franchise.
By far.
Like, Nightmare, you get very wonky. It doesn't really fit with the Freddy Krueger character. With Halloween, when they get wonky, it doesn't fit with the Michael Myers character. But with Jason, I feel like when they do get wonky, it still fits within his character. I don't think they ever betrayed the character besides one movie, which is the only movie I don't like in the franchise. But like, I feel like they've been very true to the character, and they haven't tried to change him much. Well, with other characters, they have changed and messed with quite a bit.
Yeah.
And like, could you argue that maybe it's because Jason doesn't have a character, or do you think like there is it's that the actors like the likes of say Derek Mears and Kane Harder have to work that bit harder to give Jason a character, considering he's predominantly silent?
I mean, I wouldn't say he doesn't have a character, but I get what you mean. Like, characters like Michael Myers were definitely more, when they first came out there, they were definitely like more expressive in a way. Like when he like kills the guy and pins him against the wall and does like the artist kind of head nod. Like you didn't really have that with Jason, but I feel like with Jason is he is kind of a blank slate, but at the same time he does kind of have a personality, and I do think Kane really did bring and add to the role for sure.
Yeah.
But,
I agree with that.
and like Ted White and C.J. Graham as well.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Titan. Hey, dude. Collecterman, why do you think the Friday series, Friday the 13th franchise, lasted so long and why it's so popular? Why do you think?
The only things I would add to all that is that I just think that these are really fun popcorn films, and audiences knew back in the 80s what they were getting themselves into going in, and it's really the creative kills that have driven, the interest in coming back and seeing film after film. How is Jason going to dispatch his next victim? And yeah.
Well, would you say they kind of put down the template for like the Saw movies, where the Saw movies it was the same thing happening over and over again, but more people wanted to see the gory kills. That's what drew the audience. That's what drew the audience back.
It's a little different from the Saw series because I would consider the Saw series more in the torture porn kind of category, especially after the second film in that series.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that this series is very creative, and just to see the evolution of Jason and the Jason character throughout the films, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And I think Jason has heart. In a weird, stupid way, like Jason probably has the most heart of all the big ones. Like you kind of can imagine maybe there's something going on. Like the way he perceives it is a little different than the way we perceive it.
The character development for Jason is there. It's just gradual throughout the whole series. It's yeah.
So.
Full Moon says favorite Friday movie is first. Favorite Jason movie is 6. Jason Lives. So speaking of the first, give me 1 second, guys. Sure. So the movie that started it all. This like there's a lot of dispute saying that this is one of the kind of proto slashers. Would you agree with that? Jane Christian, what do you think? Do you think this was the prototype for the modern slasher?
As we talked about on the most recent horror hangouts, to me, Friday the 13th is the point when proto slasher stops being a thing, and this is the first full-on slasher film that took all of the elements from stuff like Peeping Tom, Black Christmas, and Halloween, even Chainsaw to a degree, and then this is the melting pot of all of those films together. Finally, and then the rest of the genre was kind of based off of Friday the 13th. I feel way more influence with like the 80s slashers. I feel way more influence from Friday than I do, say, Halloween. So yeah, I would definitely say this is the first slasher movie in my opinion, at least full on, not that isn't a proto.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. This is where it all started, like you said, and you're at a camp, and not to say that we haven't seen other movies done this around the same time. Sleepaway Camp were pretty much the same time, but there's something really neat. But I will say, okay, give your hot take, and then I'll go off of that.
I would although say that Friday the 13th Part 1, and no offense to anybody who loves it, I know you're a big fan of it, Moon, but I would say that this movie has aged like garbage and is like, yeah, it's important for the series overall, and it's not what I would say a bad film, but it is very dated and not as good as most people make it out to be.
I wouldn't go that far for myself, but I will say this is a thing where we were discussing on Sleepaway Camp stream, the ending. I think the ending is what makes this movie so great and probably gave us a jumping board for other sequels. I think the ending is what I love about this movie, and Pamela Voorhees definitely adds something. I think the movie's fine is what it is, but there are better ones that are yet to come in the series.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like Jen, would you say like with Sleepaway Camp, it was the ending that really elevated the movie from the kind of slew of stuff that had come out around the same time?
Yes, but I would disagree. Like I've said, I think Sleepaway Camp had a lot more going for it than just the ending. Where this one, I respect it. I do, and anyone who loves it, I'm no hate to you guys, but I think for me, what really makes this movie stand above is the ending. I would argue that the ending is what this movie has going for it, because we have seen other things like this done before. But the ending was clever. As a mother, that just really, maybe because I'm a mom, but that just the ending just really appealed to me, and I thought, oh, cool, that's cool. If the ending didn't happen, I don't know that I would be so nostalgic toward this movie.
There's more engaging stuff going on in Sleepaway Camp throughout, whereas this movie is pretty much front-loaded for the first 15 minutes is pretty good and engaging, and then the ending of the film, the final 15, are really engaging and interesting. But the whole middle of the film is really kind of bland and forgettable.
I would kind of, I'd agree a little bit to that. The ending is what works for me.
I'm not, again, because I know people love this movie. I know you're a fan of it, Collecterman. I do find some of the acting a bit hokey. But again, it was Sean. Was this? Well, although Sean Cunningham had worked with Wes Craven on Last House, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they reproduced it.
I like, again. There is still a fucking. There is still very much a feel of a very kind of low budget indie horror here, but again, there is certain things, and this movie has kind of set up like people, if you showed this to someone who didn't know what it was, they're like, oh, this is full of cliches, and I'm like, no, this is what built the cliches. So
this is the cliches.
Yeah.
And I don't think just because it was a low budget kind of indie horror movie, I think that gives it some of its charm and character. Definitely. I actually think that would be a pro rather than a negative. So for it.
Trench, what's your thoughts on the movie?
Oh, I like the movie. It's not my favorite, but I do like a lot of things they do with it. Like I like the cinematography. I like how the kills are more based on build up in a few of them, like where Annie's stuck in the car and she notices that they're like going the wrong way and she has to jump out of the car and the chase sequence, and they finally slit her throat. But it's like I like the build up to that. Yeah. And I like the little characterizations, like with the Marcy character, how she had the dream of it raining blood, and then she has the axe rain down on her. And the end, with my favorite kill of the franchise. I have fun with this movie. I like it a lot. It's not my favorite though.
Christian, you're evidently a fan of this first one. Why in your mind, or why do you think this one it still stands parallel with the others?
Oh, was that question for me?
Yeah. Did I say Christian? Apologies.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah, you did. I was confused.
No. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. One, Collecterman. Why do you think this movie still it still holds up and is still parallel to the other ones? Would you say it is? And why do you think it still has such a strong fandom?
Overall, I think the movie probably isn't a lot of people's favorites, but I do appreciate it for the fact of Betsy Palmer. I think she does an awesome job at the end of the film. That really elevates it. And that whole confrontation between Alice and Mrs. Voorhees at the end of the film. And I really think it's cool, like looking back on it, that really no stunt doubles were used for those scenes. And when you think about how game Betsy Palmer was to do these physical scenes, I just like that aspect of it. And also, I really like Alice. I think Adrienne King was definitely the best character in the film, and I think she did the best job. You brought up the acting. I think she does the best job at acting. And yeah.
But
Very good points.
Betsy Palmer took the role to get a car, to buy a new car or get her car fixed. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you guys know. But I think later on, early in her career, after she made this, she kind of was like, "Fuck, what have I starred in?" And then later on, she was like, "Oh, I've kind of had a career renaissance." Also, big hello to both Review Reviews and Art. Thanks a million for stopping by, guys. What's your favorite Friday the 13th movies? And also, Full Moon says the pace is a product of its time. It's no slower than Halloween or Black Christmas, and the POV camera is a nice natural progression from what Carpenter did in the intro on Halloween. No, that's a good point, Full Moon. I enjoy it. Again, it's you can't criticize it too much because it's the foundation of a genre. So you can't really say, "Oh, that's very tropish," or "That's very silly," or "That's very stupid," because it's the foundations of a genre. And as Tristan said, and rightly so, there is some good performances like Betsy Palmer and King give really good performances and competitive performances, especially their back and forth. Question for you. I'm going to start with Tristan first, actually. Tristan, do you feel sorry for Mrs. Voorhees? Yes or no? Or would you feel sorry for Mrs. Voorhees?
Yeah, I can definitely sympathize with Mrs. Voorhees. I mean, the loss of a child is one of the worst things that can happen to someone. So, and especially with those circumstances, thinking that they're being watched and expecting them to have been watched, and I definitely sympathize with her character. As far as she went, though, I personally wouldn't have gone that far.
Oh, but, I know that, but like, would you say Mrs. Voorhees is evil or deranged?
Yeah, I would definitely say deranged. Yeah, because she's hearing the voice of Jason in her head, and yeah, she's off her rocker, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just want to do a quick check on something. Jen, I probably know this answer already. Well, do you feel sorry for Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes, I have quite a lot of. I think that's one of the reasons why the ending works so well for me, because I do have a lot of sympathy for her. Because as Tristan put it perfectly, the loss of a child. I mean, there's nothing. There's God forbid you have to ever walk in somebody's shoes that had to go through that. I mean, you almost would have to go a little crazy. And her son was a little slow, and she probably knew that he wasn't being treated like the other kids. And you're angry about a lot of things. She did. There wasn't a father in the picture. I mean, it's a hard road to go down. And then all of a sudden, that was her whole world, and then it's gone. I mean, I would go crazy too. I would if it was one of my boys, and I would want everyone to die. I would want everyone to pay. God damn it! Yeah, she did exactly right.
My girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Christian, quickly take over before your mother has a breakdown. Do you feel sorry? Do you feel sorry for Betsy Palmer's character, Mrs. Voorhees?
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, yeah. Like, there is that snarky asshole-ish part of my brain sitting there, like, if he didn't know how to swim, then why did you send him to a summer camp? But I can look past.
Okay,
that.
I want to address that.
Okay.
I want to address that because this has always bothered me. She was working there. That was her job. She didn't have a babysitter. That was like the best means. I've heard other people say that. Why did she have him at the camp? That was probably her only option.
Okay, so I was mostly just being like, I feel sympathy for her. I think she's handled pretty well.
Yeah, like they actually addressed that in the. I know it's not. I don't know if it's canon, but they addressed that in the comic, the origins of Pamela Voorhees, which is they have an interesting reason. As Jen was saying, she worked in the camp, she was working in the kitchen, and they said, "Oh, don't worry, we won't let him near the water," and things transpired from that. Full Moon says, I also think Steve Christie's character is very underrated in the franchise for an actor that never died or never did anything but TV ads before. Okay. That's actually a cool point. That's a good point. Frenchie, do you think Pamela Voorhees took it a bit too far?
Yeah, but Ethel's in the back real quick, but at least she wasn't.
Okay, Ethel, jump on back again.
But I sympathize with Mrs. Voorhees because this is my take on it, and I might be wrong. I'm not a doctor, but from the ending sequence, it seemed like she had schizophrenia. Like at least I got that vibe. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how that works, but like the way she's talking for her son and she's hearing the voices in her head, I think she might have been a little sick to begin with, and she was just trying to do the best for her kid. And then, like, when she lost her kid, she lost everything. And she spiraled down this path. And I'm not saying it's right, but it's like, you can understand how she got from point A to B. And maybe she took it a little extreme because she's not even killing the right people that actually did it. But, it's like, you can understand why she's in the position she's in.
Yeah. It's a snowball effect, essentially. She's just going down, and it's just further and further.
At this point, she's just
madness.
She's just blanket angry at anyone at the camp, not done even if they had a correlation to the kid's death.
Yeah, that's a good point you brought up, Trenchy, about the psychosis.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to answer this first. I'm going to bring up favorite kills. My favorite one is Kevin Bacon getting the arrow in the throat underneath the bed. Jen, Christian, your favorite kill in this movie?
Kevin Bacon under the bed getting the arrow through the throat.
I don't really have a favorite kill. For me, what my favorite part of this movie is Betsy Palmer when she's just going nuts, and also when all of a sudden, boom, her head comes off. I like that. Yeah, the decapitation would definitely be those things. So I do have a favorite kill. Betsy Palmer's decapitation.
Trenchy, favorite kill in this movie?
When Marcy gets the axe to the face in the bathroom, because I like how it coincides with her dream of the blood raining down, and she predicted her own. That's my favorite kill in the whole franchise.
It's a really good, underappreciated one.
Tristan, favorite kill in this movie?
I would definitely say the Kevin Bacon kill. I think it's unexpected, and it's a really cool effect. Really well done, and it really holds up still today.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm just checking the comments there. Guys, what's your favorite kills? In the chapter. Full Moon says, honestly, all the characters are really likable, unlike many slashers. Okay. Right, chat.
See, the characters are where I have issues with the first Friday, is I actually hate pretty much the entirety of the cast. Besides, like, Alice and... Yeah, like a while back for a horror hangouts, one of the questions was like, what's the most annoying character in the franchise? And I just said the blanket statement of the entire cast of the first film. I don't really like any of them.
Minus Betsy Palmer, I hope.
Betsy Palmer's good. Alice is all right, but like for the most part, I don't like most of the cast. I think they're kind of annoying.
Oh,
I agree with that.
Favorite kill, Mrs. Voorhees, Full Moon. Anyone else have a favorite? Revy, if you're still there. Art, if you're still there, have you a favorite kill in this movie? Also, Trench, will you give Ethel a bell there, because I can't put up a poster and keep an eye on the stream at the same time. So just if she comes back in, oh god, no, I didn't mean for you to leave, Trenchy. Okay.
Trenchy, come back.
Trenchy, come back. I was wrong. And I just can't live without. Oh, sorry.
Without Trench.
Collecterman, I'll give you this. I'll give you this chance, right? To for someone who hasn't seen it, and for someone who's like, oh, this movie was made in the early '80s. It sucks. I prefer Scream. Why do you think people should go back and reevaluate and look at the first Friday the 13th? What would be your kind of what would be your pitch for people to check this movie out?
I would say that it's probably the foundation of the modern slasher, and it, as far as the gore, especially. Halloween, of course, was a lot more subdued. There wasn't any blood really in Halloween. This really, it just really upped the gore level for the genre. So I think that a lot of films after that took a lot of influence from this film, and I think that it's very important to look back on films that influenced the genre.
So you'd say this is the main foundation flagstone for the slasher franchise going on from here?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that. Yeah.
Hey, Ethel, we were just quick. You've seen the first Friday the 13th, right, Ethel?
Oh yeah. I own it. I have them all. So yeah, I've seen it.
And what's your thoughts on the original Friday the 13th?
Well, no Jason, at least not till like way later, and then it's suspect whether or not that's really Jason. But I don't know. It's still a good, solid entry. You know, I feel like the sequels are more of the template for the modern slasher film than the first one. But the first one definitely is important. I like it.
Ethel, what's your favorite kill from the original?
Oh, That's tough to place. I'd say at the end. I'd say at the end, but I don't want to spoil it if anyone hasn't seen it. But with the machete.
Yeah, don't worry about spoiling it. It's what, fucking 40 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. And like what you guys. Oh, sorry.
What? No. After you, Ethel. One.
What you guys were saying earlier about Mrs. Voorhees, yeah, that is sort of an identifiable situation, I mean, her son is supposed to be taken care of, and he's getting mistreated. Then he's dead. She's got to deal with that. The emotional trauma turns her into a serial killer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, do I feel sorry for her? Yeah. It's not justified though. Like, all right, folks out there, if like your kid dies for negligence, like, don't go on a killing spree. Don't.
This PSA.
I can't promise that, Ethel. I can't promise.
Life
and if you do kill the right people, don't kill people 2 years later
No,
or whatever.
no, we're not promoting killing anyone on this stream, please. Ignore what Trent said.
No, Trenchy's right. I'm going to stand by Trenchy. Yes, she might have made some boo-boos killing some innocent people, but, she was hurting. Like,
we here at the Trash Picture Show do not condone the murder of anyone.
Except Jen.
Except Jen. She's all about murder.
Oh, it's okay. I love you, baby, even if you are mental. Right. So I think we've covered all the corners. Ethel, is there anything else you want to bring up about this movie? Or are you okay if we move on to part 2?
I'm okay. Let's get on to Sackboy.
Sackboy, you don't have to wear a sack on your. Well, you kind of do because you're really hideous.
Man.
So, Jen, Christian, the beginning of this movie,
Yes.
Tristan, what is it? What was the name of the actress again? Tristan. The actress who played Alice in the first one. What was the actress's name? Do you remember?
Adrienne King.
Adrienne King. So maybe you guys can confirm this. Maybe Tristan can confirm this. But is it true she wanted to be killed off because she had issues with a stalker?
That's what I had heard.
That's what I've always heard.
Yes, that is true.
Do you think that benefited the movie? Whereas someone went in going, "Oh, cool, we got Alice back," and next thing, slap screwdriver into the head or an ice pick into the head. You think that worked? Like when you saw that, Tristan, were you shocked when they killed her off? When they killed off Alice, like the first 10 minutes in the movie?
I was kind of shocked, but honestly, the scene went on so long that you kind of knew something was going to happen to
Yeah.
Alice. But yeah, I think that Alice. I'm never a fan of horror films that bring back a previous character only to kill them in the first few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But given the fact that she was dealing with a stalker at the time, and they kind of wanted to not leave the audience hanging in terms of the Alice character, I think they did the best they could with that situation.
Yeah.
Trenchy, were you shocked when they killed off Alice in the opening minutes?
This was one of the first movies I had seen, so I had seen this before the first one, so I just thought she was another random person. I didn't understand.
Okay. So there was no surprise to you at all.
Oh no, right, people are gonna die. Like that's what I was expecting from the movie, and it delivered.
Yeah,
there you go.
very right.
Oh, sorry, Christian. What?
No, yeah, I was like, yeah, there you go. That's exactly what you're looking for. Movie delivered.
Ethel, were you shocked when Alice was killed in the opening minutes of the movie?
I was slightly surprised because I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna have like a Laurie Strode situation where she's gonna come back in the second movie, and like it's gonna be like a rehash. And then they did the great thing, and they killed her, and it wasn't a rehash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, the movie, if I'm not mistaken, picks up. Is it 8 years or 5? Tristan, is it 8 years or 5 years after the original?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't recall either, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
remember.
either.
There is a span of time. Like it was released. Like the movie itself was released, I think, a year after, but there's supposed to be a bigger time lapse to maybe explain Jason's age. So yeah, this movie is the one that introduces us to what I call the Forrest Gump of slashers. He's a mammy's boy. He's a redneck. He's been to space. He's fought Carrie. He's fought Freddy. Like he's been a zombie. There's nothing this fucker hasn't done. But yeah, for his first outing, I like the kind of whole town that dreaded sundown kind of look at Jason in this. Jen Christian, what did you think of Jason's first appearance wearing the sack?
I liked it. Like, see, I had heard about I like going into this movie. I had already seen Jason in,
Yeah, because you were born. You were born the same year this movie came out, so you were accustomed to Mask Jason.
Yeah, I was accustomed to Mask Jason, but when I saw it and Bag Jason, I understood why they were doing it. And I thought, okay, that's cool. But I also remember thinking I do like the mask, but that's what I grew up with. So
Yeah.
first, but I did, and I actually really what I love about this movie is the opening, and I love the fact that our actress was actually dealing with a stalker. I think it kind of gives a nuance to her performance. And what I always likened it is that it reminded me kind of Psycho, because here we thought we were going to be going back to another character and she was going to be the main character of the movie, and then we kill her sooner than they did in Psycho, but we still got bam. And I was surprised by that. And I actually really liked how they did
Nobody's
that.
safe.
Yeah, nobody's safe. And I thought, oh, this is really smart movie. So I dug that. What about you?
I'm fine with it. Like, it's in a weird middle ground. I think it's handled better than it was in, like, say, Elm Street 4, how they just killed off all the Dream Warriors in the opening scene. But it's still not like, I don't like it as, I think it was still not as handled well as, say, like Nancy's death from Elm Street 3. So it's a fine send off for the character, but I don't love it or hate it. I like that, like I said, I like how it kind of shows nobody's safe, and I like Baghead Jason design overall. I still will ultimately prefer Hockey Mask, but I like Baghead Jason. It's kind of unique and different.
Like what Tristan said is that they did the best they could with what they were dealing with, and I think that's basically the best way to say that.
Yeah.
Trenchy, Baghead Jason.
Oh, he's awesome, man. He's just this big dude with a bag on his head, and it's fucking scary because a big dude with a bag on his head isn't right in the head, and he's just
that's true.
And he's just running around chasing people. Like, I was talking to someone last night, and he's like, "Oh, Michael and Jason never run." I'm like, "Dude, Jason runs. Like in the first movie, he runs a lot. Like he hauls ass."
Yeah, he tears across the road in front of the sheriff. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, I like the Baghead. I don't know why, but there's something just fucking. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like evil iconography to like. Okay, maybe I'm clutching at straws, but when I think of someone with a bag on their head or a hood in their head, I think of like clan members. I'm like, Jesus fuck. So like this guy really is a shit kicker. Like again, I don't know. Maybe again I'm clutching at straws, but the idea of someone wearing this makeshift kind of cloth to cover their face is there's something sinister about it. Ethel, what's your thoughts on Baghead Jason?
Oh, it's fucking Sackboy. He's great. Who doesn't like Sackboy? Come on.
Sackboy. Yeah.
Jeez. Like it's
I mean,
handy. Like
honestly, I prefer the hockey mask. Oh, sorry.
Go on. No. After you. Sorry.
No, I like I prefer the hockey mask, but the sack is good. The sack is good. It gives you this weird like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you can tell he's mentally unstable, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What with you get kind of a blank canvas with the sack because you don't know. With the mask, it almost
can see the eyes.
Yeah, it gives him a little bit more. You can project a personality onto the mask, whereas the bag is a little bit more foreboding because you can't see what's under there, and it's always more frightening. The unknown is always more frightening. So
yeah, it's a lot less. You can't project facial features onto it like you can with the hockey mask.
Yeah.
And he only has one hole.
Shite. It's like that one hole.
That bug you guys? Only one hole in the sack to see out of?
Yeah, just like couldn't you make him run into a telephone pole on his left hand side or something? I don't know. Just push. But yeah, no, I like it though. There is something sinister about it. There is something like I don't know. The dude's like from a lynch mob or something from the 50s, just real fucking hazy kind of nutbag. Well, yeah, so the camp counselors arrive and they kind of set up the tropes, and we get kind of it's interesting. I think the actor might have been able-bodied, but is this the one that introduces us to like? Well, oh my god, I actually forgot. Sure, fucking Texas Chainsaw. But yeah, it's what was there a string of like movies that had disabled kind of slasher victims back then, or is that just me?
I can only think of Franklin and the dude in this movie, actually. I'm trying to think of anyone else. Oh, the one nerdy kid from Elm Street 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering was that a trope? It was like kind of weird. Sorry, Ethel, what?
There was also the kid in Mac and Me.
Yes,
that was horrifying.
Yeah, everyone's favorite slasher movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moon says the sheriff kill cracks me up to this day, but the double spear kill is my favorite. If I go, my favorite kill from this one is the poor guy in the wheelchair getting the machete in the head, and by Christ, for a corpse, the dude does some serious fucking hand time and maneuverability in that wheelchair down that flight of stairs. Seriously. Yeah. That was fucking awesome. Jen, Christian, your favorite kill in this one?
My favorite kill in the movie would be the one Moon mentioned of the couple there in mid-coitus, as they tend to do, and Jason just stabs a giant like spike spear thing through both of them. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's kind of I always took it as kind of an evolution of Kevin Bacon's death from the first film.
Gotcha. Jen, your favorite kill in this movie?
Your favorite kill?
My favorite kill?
Yes.
Okay. My favorite kill would be Alice.
Mm.
Yeah, I love that. I think because I just thought that was such a cool way to open it. It was such a badass way to open it. I don't know. I just dug it.
Yay, murdering our final girl.
And I really got the sense of fear from her, like the really terror. So that's mine.
It's a good one.
Tristan, your favorite kill in this movie?
It would definitely be the machete to the face of the kid in the wheelchair, even though it's very wrong, but it's still awesome. and how the wheelchair just goes down the stairway afterwards.
It's so fucking. It's a shock as well. Man, they killed the disabled guy, but like
Yeah.
it's ballsy. Ethel, favorite kill in this one?
I'm gonna have to go with the shish kebab kill. I mean, who doesn't love a double lateral skewer? Like, come on, just like.
It's like it's again. I think this movie is trying to reinforce. Hey, you have sex, you die, kind of motif for the franchise. Trench, your favorite kill in this one?
Yep. I gotta go with the wheelchair kill, but like, shout out to Crazy Ralph's kill as well, because he's one of the best characters in the franchise. But I like the wheelchair kill because they just stab the dude in the face and they throw him down a random flight of stairs that we never really see during the film.
I know.
Let's throw him down some stairs.
Yeah.
They're so mean.
Oh, big hello to Ben Grimm and big hello to Anthropomatic Fiend, the one half of the great fucking Death Rider review that's coming up at some stage. I'm really looking forward to that, man.
Me too.
So, anyway, moving on to guys. Have we covered all the corners? Do you think, or is there anything else that you want to bring up about part 2?
No, I'm good. You?
I'm good.
I
think we pretty much covered
moving
everything.
on. Ethel, is there anything else you want to bring up, or you think we covered all the bases?
I think Sackboy. That is all.
Okay, we all love Sackboy. Okay, so moving on to Jason's new adventure in 3D.
Yay!
Well, you'll be terrified by yo-yos for years. So Jason in 3D. This is where he gets his iconic hockey mask, and some of the kills in this are pretty cool. Also, Ben, Andrew, what's your favorite kills in the franchise? Just drop them in the comments there. Jen, Christian, your thoughts on Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D?
What always comes up to me is Barn of Death.
Barn of
Death, because there are so many kills in this Barn of Death. It's not my favorite. Like this one I'm kind of. It's fine. It's a perfectly fine movie. It's not a favorite of mine, even though this is where we get the mask. And the 3D concept's kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't have too much to say about this but Barn of Death. Me and Christian, that's our thing. Barn of Death.
We love the Barn of Death.
We do. We love the Barn of Death.
Guys, is this the one with the asshole punks as well?
Yes.
Yeah, the first ones, yes.
Yeah, and they're fine. It's a pretty standard tropey one. This one is one that I would say is kind of standard, but cool for anyone who likes it. What about you?
I quite enjoy Part 3. You got the Barn of Death. You got Jason with his awesome mask. You got stupid 3D gimmicks that make no sense a lot of the time. You got yo-yos. Everyone's afraid of yo-yos. And you have the best remix of the Friday the 13th theme ever with this funky disco remix that I actually really like. So yeah, no, I acknowledge Part 3 is not a great film, and honestly probably worse than Part 2 and even Part 1. But personally, I like it a lot. I think it's very fun.
I don't hate it. It's kind of there. You know, it's not.
That's how most people feel about it. I'm definitely in the minority for liking it a lot more than most.
Andrew says his favorite kill is Kevin Bacon from the original, and hey Ted, where's this corkscrew from Part 4? Tristan, what's your thoughts on Part 3? Is it pure gimmick, or has it got a lot to contribute to the franchise?
Part 3 has really never been one of my favorites in the franchise. I just don't really care for most of the characters, especially the stoner characters. I know that originally Jenny was supposed to return, but Amy Steele didn't want to come back, so they kind of did something different with the script. But am I correct that Tom Savini did not do the effects for this film?
He did
Yeah.
not.
No, he was doing
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
else at the time.
Yeah, it's very evident that Tom Savini was not doing the effects. And I think the 3D element was a big draw at the time for theater-going audiences, but we've never been able to really see the true impact of the 3D after the fact. And some of the kills suffer because of that. I think it comes off as a little cheesy at times.
Mhm.
Like where your one is where Jason's on the dock. He's just killed a prankster and he uses the is it a harpoon gun and it comes straight at her. They do that in a kind of 3D fashion. I thought that was fun, but
Me too.
you are right, man. It is very gimmicky, but you know what? I'm going to leave the person who I know is a fan of the old 3D to discuss it to the last, because I know she'll want to fight tooth and nail about this movie and that kind of thing. Trenchy, your thoughts on Friday Part 3 3D?
Like everybody's saying, I thought I was in the minority, but I actually find this movie very meh. It's kind of cool to hear other people say that, but like it's okay. It has some cool kills and some memorable characters, but I feel like with like Chris, having Jason trying to like sexually assault her in the forest, that was weird, and like
That's weird. I always forget about that.
Yeah, I think Vera and Shelley, the prankster and the chick, should have been the final characters, because you're kind of rooting for them for the whole movie. I didn't care about Chris. And I mean, you replace Ralph with a hobo sleeping in the middle of the street. You can't replace the best harbinger in the game. And I feel like the other movies do that shit. So like, it's okay, but not the best.
Yeah.
Before I move on to Ethel, really like the characters in this one too. Shelley and Veronica, Fox from the Bikers, and the Dippy Hippies. Major drawback is Chris, the final girl, is seriously weak. Okay, full move. Ethel, what's your thoughts? Do you think this is a 3D masterpiece?
It's all right. Like, if there was such a thing as a 3D masterpiece, I have yet to see it. But on that point, I do like 3D movies. I love the cheesy camera shots. It's complete pander to the fucking gimmick. Like, I love that. The yo-yo.
Yep.
Come on, guys. You don't even expect that there's going to be a random yo-yo fucking getting winged in your face. Like, it's special. This movie has a special place in my heart. I used to have the poster for this movie. I had that hanging in my bathroom. Where he's got like the shower curtain and he's stabbing through the shower curtain.
Nice.
Awesome. Very cool.
It would actually be, Ethel, it would be cool to actually have that as a shower curtain. That poster.
Yeah, like, I don't know why they haven't made that yet. That'd be friggin' badass.
But, Ethel, I'm going to work from you and go backwards. Favorite kill in this movie?
All right. I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there a belt kill in this movie where he like straps the guy's head to the tree with the belt?
No, that's part 5.
That was part 5.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just getting confused for a second. But no, you know what? I gotta go with where my heart's at. And I know it's cheesy. We already mentioned it, but the spear gun. Gotta go with the spear gun.
Ethel, fist bump. I'm with you. I love that kill. I know it shouldn't work, but it is just cool. The idea of just the spear coming at you. I'm 100% behind Ethel. That is an awesome kill. Trenchman. What's your favorite kill in this movie?
Oh, the kill near the end where he squeezes a dude's head and the eye pops out on the stick. It's so bad, but at the same time, it's so good.
Is the Bell's Part 5? 4 minutes. The handstand kill is my favorite. Is the handstand kill in this one? Nice.
Yes.
I thought that was part 4. Oh wait, that's part 3. Oh shit.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought so.
They can. I'm not going to blame anyone because the fucking some of the kills blend into each other. I think with these movies. Tristan, favorite kill in this movie?
The one you just mentioned, Marty, the guy that walks around, that does the handstands, and I think it was a really well done effect for the time.
Yeah.
Oh, so he gets the guy getting shot in the bollocks is in this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh, fuck. Jen, Christian, your favorite kill in this movie?
Which
I would do a handstand, but I can't do a handstand, so I'm just going to say the one with the handstand. I like handstands.
Antro says, by the way, Christian, handstand McGee, right, Christian?
Exactly, handstand McGee. That's what I called him. Yeah, that's his character trait. He does handstands.
I'm gonna go with Trenchy with the eyeball one because
That's also good. That was my
because-
runner-up, and then I remembered handstand McGee was in this movie.
yeah, because I've always, as a little kid, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, decapitation is where my heart's at, but a good eyeball popping out of your head. I mean, you gotta respect that.
But guys, do you think we've covered all the angles in this one, or is there any other things that we want to bring up? Ethel, is there anything else you want to bring up about the flick, or?
Well, I know we mentioned it. I know Christian mentioned it earlier, and I got to bring it up because I listen to it every Halloween. But the remix of the theme song, where it's
So
extra
good.
disco and fun, like no, I like that.
Yeah.
I gotta listen.
That's like-
I gotta listen to that. I gotta listen to that again. I
Like
forgot about it.
besides that, and he's back. Those are probably the best.
Yeah, that I love he's back.
Ethel, there's one you're forgetting though. There is another song in the Friday the 13th movie that.
Save it when we get to part 8.
All right, I'll save it for when we get to part 8. There's actually another song in the Friday the 13th that I really like. We'll save it.
Yeah, save it for part 8. Yeah. Oh, one other stupid thing I love about this movie. I don't know why, but I love how Pamela's head explodes into the titles. I don't know why they decided to do that, but I'm glad they did because it makes no sense. But I kind of love it.
Hey, why not? Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
You just want to see your
3D,
mother's head
man.
explode.
Hey,
Down.
don't go blowing up fucking Jen's head, Christian. Okay? I love that head. I love all the head. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I gotta phrase that right. Right, moving on quickly. Right. So moving on to part 4, known as the final chapter. So
They
this should
lied
be.
about that. They lied.
I need to queue up Europe.
Are we gonna take them in the never-ending stories to court, Jen?
Yes.
We might. False marketing, damn it.
So, Friday the 13th, the final Friday. Trench, I'm going to let you start off and give your thoughts about this movie.
There is no Trenchy here, only Zool.
Is Trench gone?
Trenchy left.
Yeah, he's
Uh-oh.
gone.
He gone.
Sugar.
Gone.
Look, guys.
He'll be back.
Oh, wait. No, there he is. Hang on a sec. See, I'm having the posters up. I can't actually see who's there and who's not. Trench, you're back.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna miss this one. Just the internet kicked.
That's okay. Trench, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Friday the 13th, final chapter. Your thoughts on the flick?
Oh, it's my favorite, man. You got the introduction of Tommy Jarvis. You got one of the best dances in all of horror movie history. You got like a dope ass song. You got Ted White being scary as fuck and just like bashing for roles and shit like it's nothing.
Mhm.
And it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Everything about it's great.
And Trench, at some stage, do you think you could do the dance for us? Do you think you could emulate Crispin Glover's fantastic dance? Because I know you've got rhythm. It's a known fact you were brimming with rhythm.
I'm not that talented. That dude's a fucking badass. It's just too awesome.
Okay. Jen, Christian, your thoughts on Friday the 13th, the false advertising chapter. I mean, the final chapter.
Fuckers lied to us. Aside from, being lied to, this one I would say is, you could argue, and I'm one of those people that I would agree with you, that this is probably the best one of the bunch. Now, is it my favorite? No. There's another one that nostalgia plays a role for me, but looking at it in a critical sense, this is probably the best one for all the reasons Trenchy already said. I love how he's just boom. Jason is pissed in this one.
Yeah, Ted White is the most, but until maybe Derek Mears in the remake, Ted White is the most brutal Jason.
He is, and I love the one scene where we break the window. I just love that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in the whole franchise. I love this one. I also think Tommy Jarvis, not just Corey Feldman's interpretation, but like just his as a character, is probably one of is just as interesting as Laurie Strode or some of our other ones.
I would say so.
I love this one. I love the brutality of it. The story's great. Everything about this, it's just fucking awesome, and I love it. So yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's probably the best one.
I would entirely agree with that. Like you and Trenchy said, it is easily the best made one. The characters are all really enjoyable and memorable, even if they're in it for a couple scenes. You remember them. The kills. Tom Savini is back with a vengeance. This movie is just the effects and kills are all really damn fun and creative and brutal. Yeah, no, it's a great film. It is a great Friday film.
And I would also say that it's kind of, as horror kids, I think we could all really relate to Tommy Jarvis. Yeah. Even if we couldn't make masks, he was into weird and different things, and we didn't have the internet at the time, and so we could all, I know I related. I was like, I would want to be that kid's friend. I would want to be Tommy's friend.
It's definitely another example of what we would now see as kind of a trope of that being like, oh, the protagonist of the movie is a
but
horror
at the time it was very
but Tommy
new.
Jarvis is kind of one of the first characters I can really think of that was a horror fan and was like and used that knowledge to kind of help him in the movie.
And as a weird kid myself, I was like, oh, I want to be friends. I want to do that. That is cool. Mm-hmm. And I that really appealed to me. And it didn't feel in a pandering kind of way. It just was like, that's part of his story.
Yeah.
Do you think that adding the kid kind of might have kind of just did you have a fear it might have diluted the franchise?
I wouldn't say so.
No. I dug. Like I said, I just really related. I remember because I was a weird kid, and I could weird knows weird, and I was like, I can relate to you, bro. I can relate to you. I didn't think bro at the time because bro was a new word, but that's basically Jim's thought.
Yeah.
I feel you, dude.
Tristan, what's your thoughts on this movie?
I love the final chapter. I think it has some of the best characters in the franchise. I know there's a lot of love for Kane Hodder as Jason. I love Kane Hodder too, but for me personally, Ted White is my favorite Jason.
Mine too.
Just because of what's been already said, how brutal a performance that Ted White gave as the character. And I love the family dynamic, and I love Corey Feldman's performance. I think it takes the best elements of the first three and kind of elevates them. Yeah, and I think it has the best kill in the entire franchise. At least it has my favorite kill in the entire franchise, and that is the Jason kill when Tommy kills Jason at the end.
Yeah, that's
cool,
great.
Cool. Ethel, what's your thoughts on this one?
Oh, I like it. It's a great entry into the series. Like, it sort of redeems itself for the admittable problems of the third film. Like, we like the third film, but it's got some problems. This one, much tighter film. You got an angrier looking Jason, a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, no, this is great.
So yeah, like again, the whole family aspect for me, I think it's interesting. I think there's a bit more jeopardy as well. Like I remember watching this person, like, oh, they put a kid in it. How did you think what did you guys think of like little baby kid Tommy Jarvis spying on naked women and getting all giddy? Jen, as a man, as a mammy, what do you think? Do you think that's plausible for a child to do?
Oh yeah, I mean, boys will be boys. It doesn't bother me. Like, of course, at that age, you're gonna be curious about the opposite sex. It doesn't bother me. Of course, as a mom, I don't want to think about my boys doing that because my boys are babies. But as a woman, I know that's part of it, and it's kind of sweet. I know the PC police are gonna come at me, motherfuckers. But I'm gonna say it. I think it's sweet, damn it. And they probably wouldn't do it if they ever, God forbid, they ever made a remake of this. But I'm okay with it.
I'm not kind of surprised because you're trying to prompt your kids to go out and take women's panties, like Jen's mad to try and get panty raids going. Ethel, what do you think? Do you think it was weird having a kid like get all fucking giddy looking at naked women?
No, I think it's natural. Like that's totally a realistic thing that would happen. Like that's what little boys do. They go and they try to like peep on girls because they're just getting interested.
Yeah.
In women. Like.
Yeah.
Totally. Like I feel that's natural. Huh?
I love that it's the men that seem to have a problem with it, and you and me are okay because we did this with the panty raid in the sleepaway camp. It's the men that seem to have a problem with it.
It could it be guilt, guys? Guys, did you peep on some?
I didn't steal anybody's fucking knickers, okay? I can't speak Tristan or Trenchy. I don't know. I'd be a bit worried about Trenchy though. But Trench, what do you think?
Doesn't have to...
Go on, Christian. Sorry.
Trenchy doesn't have to steal women's panties. They just bring them to him.
That's a good point. Sorry. Jesus Christ, he's dead right. Yeah.
Trenchy, Tristan, though, like, do you guys think? Do you guys have a problem with a young man looking at women, or are you guys fine with it? I'm just curious because I love that me and Ethel are on the same page, but men seem to have a different take.
Thing to include into your movie.
I'm fascinated with this.
I think it's perfectly understandable in most cases, for a kid of that age. Mm-hmm. But once you turn 18, however, yeah. I think it turns into a bit of a creep factor.
Tommy join.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that, darling?
Nothing. Just Tommy join. Telescope. Trench, what do you think? Little kid watching women undress.
I mean, I'm fine with it. He wasn't looking for it. It was just right there. What was he supposed to do? And he's like, it's not like he's a grown-ass man. He's a little kid. So it's like, well, I mean, like, the thing is like, he didn't mean any harm from it. And like, yeah, they might get mad. And like, if they found out, they might get mad and yell at them. But they're not going to freak out. They're just going to be like, oh, it's a kid. Like,
yeah.
You know. He's not a friend.
They've done that exact same scene in part 5, we would be having a different argument.
Trenchy, working backwards from you. Oh, also, I meant to say goodbye to Antro. Thanks for stopping in. Full Moon says, Christopher Glover ruins this movie for me. Okay.
Really?
Wow. Okay. Both times he peeps, they're not having sex with someone. So it's just a natural human body, skinny dipping and changing clothes and sexual. Okay. Trenchy, working backwards from you, sir. Favorite kill in this movie?
Oh, shit. Okay, so for humans, I'm going to go with the head twist. And when he slits the throat with the saw and twists his head around, that was badass. But, like, I got to go with the Jason kill all in all, because he slits his head down the machete, and he's so menacing throughout the movie. So to see him die like that is just so epic.
Yeah.
And his tongue coming out wiggling.
Yeah.
That's weird as well. Ethel, favorite kill in this movie?
Like, all right, guys, it's gonna sound like there's an echo in here, but I gotta say, it's the Jason kill. I love the slide down.
Yeah.
You know, like that's pretty cool. Like, it's a cool kill.
It is badass. Collecterman, you already answered this, but your favorite one is Jason's kill, right?
Yeah, I just love how Tommy Jarvis gets fed up with all the stuff that's happening and he outwits Jason. And that whole fight between him and Jason is really epic. And the effects are really gnarly and awesome. And it's my favorite in the entire franchise.
Okay. Jen, Christian, favorite kill?
I'm gonna have to agree with the rest of the panel. Definitely the Jason kill. But what stands out to me, like, because since everyone said that, and everyone's put it perfectly. I can't improve on it any better. But for me, when I think of 4, the scene that always sticks out with me is when the sister is when her and Jason are fighting at the end, and she hits him, and the mask comes off. To me, that is like one of the most
tight zoom in.
Yes, that is one of the most iconic scenes in the movie. That when I think of Friday the 13th, that's the Jason I always think of, is when the mask is coming down. I think that's very revealing. That's a stupid way to put it, but I think it's very revealing, and it just sums up Friday the 13th for me perfectly.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm the same as you guys. I'm Jason kill. Sorry, Christian. One.
No, I was gonna say, I would love to be that guy that says the Jason kill is garbage, it's a terrible kill, but no, it's a great damn kill. The effect is glorious, as everyone's already stated. But just for the sake of variety, I always was a big fan of the spear gun kill in this film of the 2 dudes swimming, and then he just stabs the dude with the spear gun and just hoists him up in the air. I really like that kill, but Jason is easily the best one.
Yeah. I think do you think we've covered all the angles with this? Is there anything else you want to bring up, guys? Is there any more interesting facts or tidbits? Tristan, is there anything you want to broach that you think we haven't covered?
I think that's about it, for at least on my end.
Very cool.
Trench, Ethel, what do you think, guys? Should we move on to part 5? Fucking Roy Burns.
Your favorite movie. Your favorite
Roy
movie.
Burns.
One thing
We're
that
gonna be here for this one of the guys.
I think we got it. I think we got it. I think we covered it. I mean, what else can you say about it? Oh, the window. Gotta go with the window.
Window, yeah.
That is a favorite of mine.
The window.
Yeah.
Oh, also, hey, Phil's creepy videos in the chat. How you doing, dude?
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Okay, so moving on to this absolute fucking
Did you not like the twist at the end, Marty?
Yeah, how do you feel, Marty? I don't think we know how you
so,
feel about Roy Burns. What do you think of Roy Burns, Marty? I don't think you've ever told us. You've never really voiced your opinion on it.
Marty, he was innocent.
Okay, so I like the whole red herring element, but to pick a character who has 2 lines in the movie and then to, like, again, unless you're Batman, unless you're fucking Batman, there's no level of preparation that would let you be this ready. I mean, sure, the hockey mask and the fucking boilers, but that fucking prosthetic, like, that was a professional prosthetic. That was made to fit. Like, if they had a line of dialogue in the background where, like, Tommy comes down, he's like, hey, someone took one of my masks and cut one of the faces off it, or something like that. Or Tommy goes up to his room after Roy fucking has gone in to frame him, and he finds one of his masks missing or something. Like, it just, oh God, like, the amount of happenstance. Like, what the fuck? It just happened that fucking Tommy is there in the fucking place that like, a dude is fucking killed, and the dude's dad just happens to be the paramedic who's there, and he just happens to have a fucking fascination with fucking. Oh no, my head's getting fucking hurt. It's like I don't care what kind of backstory they give Fat Scott Bakula to be like fucking motivated to do this. But no, Roy fucking Burns. I mean, I liked a lot of this movie, but the twist is absolute dog shit. I mean, proctologists have probably pulled better things out of people's arses than this. I mean, seriously, what the fuck? Jen, Christian, I'm tapping out. Go first.
Okay, darling, now this isn't my favorite one by far, but I actually have kind of a soft spot for this one. I know, like, there's issues. You've brought up many of them. There are issues with this, and yeah, you really do have to have a big license of disbelief for this picture. You do. I get that, but I also, there's a part of me that I can't lie in front, but there's a part of me that respects that they're okay. We're gonna try to do something new and not bring Jason into it. I like, even though the execution leaves a little something to be desired, I respect what they're trying to do, and it's kind of a fun movie. And there's just something about this movie. It's sleazy. It's super sleazy, and of course that would appeal to Jen because I'm all about the sleaze. We all know this. I'm all about the sleaze. I like some of the characters, the sleaziness of it, and I like the red herrings, even though they're stupid red herrings. I agree with you on that. They're stupid red herrings, and like the clusterfuck of circumstances that would have to happen to even sort of kind of make sense. I all get that, but there's just a part of me that, hey, that's kind of cool. It's not Jason. It's this paramedic dude that's doing this bad Robert De Niro. You talking to me? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I was like, yay, Taxi Driver, woo! So I have sort of an appreciation for this movie, but I can also acknowledge that there are some issues with it.
Jesus. Christian.
Yeah. Okay. Five. I have many theories about.
And Roy Burns could have been innocent.
Roy Burns. I have many theories in relation to Part 5. Mainly, especially on this most recent rewatch, I don't think that this was originally supposed to be a Friday the 13th film. It doesn't feel like it. So many of the ideas, it feels very tacked on, the Friday the 13th aspects to it. And I also, like, it's obvious that Tommy is a red herring in this one, but I kind of feel, and it would have been a little too obvious that, oh, Tommy's the killer, but it would have made more sense for him be the killer as opposed to random paramedic Roy Burns.
But then we wouldn't have, you're talking to me. Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, Jen, are you defending Fat Scott Bakula?
Sure. I'm defending Fat Scott Bakula. You know, there's some okay bits in this movie, but how
do you feel about it? Do you like this movie?
This movie is the most un-Friday the 13th I think that the series ever becomes. It feels the most derivative of like other movies that were knocking off Friday the 13th. This feels like it could be a sequel to like Graduation Night or like Final Hours or something like that. It feels way closer to a movie like that than Friday the 13th.
What about the Greasers? You had a thing on the Greasers.
Oh yeah, there's some good bits in it. I like. Also, that is one thing I do want to bring up. It bugged me on this most recent rewatch. Is there like a leather bar in this town or something? Because like half of the kills are like 50s greasers and everyone's like in a leather daddy outfit. It's very weird.
Christ almighty. Ethel, what's your take on Part 5, the red herring bullshit?
All right. Well, hey, like, we learn things from movies. Like, they teach us little lessons. And if I've learned anything from this movie and Halloween H2O, it's that paramedics can take an inhuman amount of abuse. Like,
that's true.
Exactly. Fucking Christ. How did he survive?
It was a flesh wound.
Does it not bother you though that this guy had like a fully constructed prosthetic of Jason's head at his disposal, ready to pretend to be, and like the thing is, this dude, do you want to know what really annoys me, right? He's got all this super prep work that he could not have come up with, yet he can't get to chevrons and a fucking hockey mask right. Sorry,
Well,
Ethel.
that was a clue. That was a clue that it's not Jason. Like the hockey mask was different. That's the clue.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
I'm with Ethel on that.
Yeah.
That's how I always thought it too.
No. That's one other thing that bugs me, and I know this bugs you too, Marty. Why doesn't he just go kill the guy who killed his son?
Okay, that one I'm with you guys on.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just go kill that guy? That guy gets arrested,
no
and then we never
motivation.
see him for the rest of the movie.
Well, Pamela Voorhees doesn't kill the right people either, so like
That's
maybe
true, but like,
I have heard people argue that Roy Burns is essentially a gender swapped version of Pamela. But no fucking way. Trench, what's your take on this fucking... Again, I don't hate this movie. I hate an element of this movie. I'm with Chen. I like the fact they tried to do something different. It's just a shame they tried to use dog shit in order to do something different. Trench, what's your thoughts on this fucking new beginning
they
of the
could
fucking
have
universe?
they'll reveal a little better and build up Roy Burns. But besides that, I really enjoyed the movie. You got memorable characters, memorable kills. You got another awesome dance sequence. This franchise has the best dance sequences
that's true.
in like almost in any movie. And like fucking, you got Reggie the Reckless driving a little car, and he's running around in a red jumpsuit, calling himself Reggie the Reckless. And Tommy's fucking dope. Like
And enchiladas.
It's a fun movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Spider from Return of the Living Dead's in it for some reason.
Yeah, and Miguel Nunez. I actually felt bad that they killed him off because there was actually a really nice relationship between him and his little brother. I was like, man, and he was the funniest thing. Goddamn enchiladas! Like, I love that. Tristan, what's your take on this? Are you a yay or a nay to a new beginning?
This one has never been one of my favorites in the franchise. I actually had to revisit this one in preparation because I've seen this one the least. Like if I go on a Friday the 13th marathon or if I watch a few in the series, I'm usually not watching this one. I think it's pretty underwhelming overall, and I kind of agree with Christian when he said that it doesn't feel like a Friday the 13th film. It kind of feels like one of the older, like one of the Hellraiser films when it got going in the series, and they just replaced it with the Jason character. And I do like Reggie. He's one of the saving graces of the film. But one of my pet peeves about casting a character from a previous film as an adult is that I like it when the actor has at least some resemblance of the character, but I don't feel like this actor looks at all like Corey Feldman, and that's always kind of annoyed me. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And the random jump scare of the cat in the restaurant. I mean, what is a cat doing in a restaurant? I mean, it's just
Health code violations.
Look, that restaurant has a lot of problems.
Yeah, and I do like I do like the Miguel A. Nunez character and his relationship with his brother, like you brought up. And that's a good thing in the movie, but all around, I don't really care for this entry.
I'm kind of with
a lot of people feel that way.
Tristan, working backwards from you, if you had to pick a favorite kill of the movie. Do you want me to circle back, give you time to think? Because I know, as you said, you have... Okay. Yeah. Ethel, favorite kill of this movie, if you can, if you have one.
I don't know. I really like the thing with the porta potty. That was funny.
Goddamn enchiladas.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to get with that. I mean, I gotta go with it.
Trench, favorite kill in this movie?
I gotta go with that weird ass eye torture kill where they put the belt around the eyes and squeeze it. Like you can
Yeah.
tell the director used to do porn before this because it's like why is this even a thing? But it's very brutal. And
Yeah.
I also heard that some chick got stabbed in the vagina in this movie, and I don't remember that at all.
Wait,
Like
when
the-
did she get... Who got stabbed
You
in
mean
the vagina?
the scene where the kids are by the lake? Is that the one?
I watched this movie 3 days ago and I don't remember that.
I don't know. People are saying it, and they said it was Violet. I'm like, nah. Violet got stabbed in the stomach, not the vagina.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
got stabbed in the stomach.
Yeah, it's not
Maybe
Violet.
it's one of those urban legend things. For me, it's a toss up between the belt kill or the guy getting a mouthful of road flare. I like that. Actually, there's a lot of the fucking. I think Christian pointed this out to me as well. There's a lot of the kills, the ladder kills, and you mentioned it as well, Jen. A lot of the ladder kills are off screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
I know this one, part 6, and I think part 7 all got super chopped up by the MPAA because a lot of the kills were too brutal at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jen, Christian, your favorite kills.
Oh, I've
If
been
you had
waiting for
any.
this one. People are gonna laugh at me, but I don't think this is my favorite kill of the series. But this is one that stands out, and none of you guys have mentioned it. I fucking love it, and it's the way the actor delivers it right before he dies, where he goes, "Well, if that's how you feel, just forget it. Just forget it." Then there's a candy bar, boom, and then boom, boom, boom. I don't know why. I fucking love that kill. I'm all about that.
Joey.
Joey, yes, Joey.
Joey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
your
you-
favorite kill was not by the main killer in the series.
Nope.
Well, there's debates, Marty. I've told you there are people online that have done a thing that say Roy Burns is innocent, and it actually is Jason. But we won't get into that here because we'll be here all night. But there is theory.
Okay, Christian, favorite
Maybe he
kill.
was.
Oh, sorry, Ethel. What?
I was just to say, maybe he was possessed by Jason, like in Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll
that
tackle
thought.
that later. Christian.
Yeah, we'll come back to
Christian,
that one.
Christian, favorite kill.
Favorite kill from this movie? I'm gonna give it to Roadhead. I like the Roadhead with the flares kill. It's pretty fun. It's enjoyable. Though I don't know why the hell there are 2 random 50s leather greasers out in the forest, and also like it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it's just my modern brain looking at it, but if I was making that movie now, I would totally write those 2 to be a couple because they have really good chemistry together. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with Roadhead.
Okay. Tristan, any light bulbs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a more unconventional one, and I'm gonna say Roy. And it's not just really the kill itself, but I just love that whole sequence that leads up to it. When Reggie bursts through the barn with the tractor and runs over Roy, and just that whole sequence leading up to Roy's demise. I think that's a really strong part of the film.
Yeah. And it's cool that like it's kind of following in the footsteps of that's the second kid that's dispatched or nearly dispatched a killer. Full Moon says favorite kill is the shears to the eyes. Yeah, something about eyes. So guys, I think we've covered everything. Roy Burns, fucking bastard, fucking dickhead. I mean, like, seriously, guys, does anyone else not bothered that somehow Roy Burns had access to a prosthetic of Jason's head? A really well. Tristan, what do you think? Do you think it's a bit weird that the fucking ambulance driver seemed to have access to a fucking prosthetic of Jason's head?
That part has always bothered me. It really has.
Wait, I get it. It's weird. But in the next movie, Jason comes back to life pre-lightning and is like
Frankenstein.
a Jason.
That at least has build up. At least there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's pathos
There's
there.
no fucking reason for this. Okay, speaking of, moving on before I get more angry.
I still like you, Roy. I have your back, man. No worries.
I'm the one that's saying Roy might be innocent, and it's Jason. It is Jason. I wanted to wear a shirt today that said Roy Burns is innocent, but I didn't have time to make it.
He's not.
That would have been awesome.
Okay, so going on to what a lot of people consider the best in their franchise.
My favorite.
Yeah. Tristan, your thoughts on Friday the 13th, Jason Lives?
I really like this one. I prefer this Tommy over the previous Tommy. I think Tom Matthews does a great job. I also like the kills in this film, even though they were a bit truncated, like has been mentioned. Let's see, what else could I say about Part 6? I just like how deranged Tommy is in the film, and I think that especially at the beginning when he goes and digs up Jason's grave, and it's kind of an idiot move putting that lightning rod into the corpse of Jason, but yeah, overall I like this film. I think it's strong. I think it has a lot going for it. I think it does a lot of things different from previous films. Yeah, I think it's a strong entry in the franchise.
Cool.
I'd agree with you.
And like, well, as we were talking before, I was talking with Jen and Christian before. Would you say this is like when people think of Friday the 13th? Do you think this is the movie? This is the quintessential movie that people think about when they think of Friday the 13th. This is one of the kind of ones that has like all the dies line up for this movie when it comes to Friday the 13th flicks.
I would say this is definitely one of the most well-loved entries in the franchise overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trenchy, your thoughts on this movie?
Oh, it's really fun. It's a fun movie. I agree with Tristan. Tom Matthews is definitely a step up from the last guy, even though I like the last guy. Definitely a step up. I love how Tommy's like the crazy Ralph in this movie, and he has to convince everybody that Jason's there. I like that there's actual kids at the camp. That's a really cool dynamic. I wish some would have died though, but you know, if you don't like, I guess the MPA wouldn't allow them to kill kids. That sucks. But,
yeah.
And there's a lot of cool shots in the movie. I like it when he's on top of the RV and shit. Like that's a badass shot. Like it's a fun movie. Frank and Jason.
Trenchy, do you think though this is where the series went a bit kind of tongue in cheek and wacky? For example, the kind of comedic scenes with the paintball team, or where your one's face is shoved through the kind of the kind of light corrugated wall of the RV. You think this is where it kind of, or even like with the Gravedigger going, some people have a sick sense of entertainment. You think this is where the movie kind of realized it realized what it was and it was going to be a bit meta?
Well, yeah, like this is my second favorite because it is so fun, and you continue that fun feel with 7 and 8. I like 8, but like I feel like it knew what it was doing. It knew to like really mess with the humor, and it's like Jason can be scary, but he can also be funny too, and they played with that.
Yeah, the thing I love, Trenchy, guys, the opening of this movie is because it's Part 6, they decide to lampoon the 007 movies with like the fucking iris. I love that.
That was great.
This movie, I think the director is great. Just the fact he knows what he's making and he has no fucking illusions about it. Ethel, what's your thoughts on Friday the 13th? Like part 7 or part 6. Jason Lives.
I love it. I love it. Finally, Jason isn't a paramedic anymore. I love it, and he's zombie. This is the film that gave us Zombie Jason.
Zombie Jason.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and again, it's very tongue in cheek. Like do you think, as I asked Tristan before, do you think when people think of quintessential Friday the 13th movies or moments, this is the one that comes to the forefront? Ethel?
Yeah, I think so. Like this for me is probably one of the best out of the sequels.
Yeah.
Like
It's fun. Sorry, Ethel. What?
no, I was just saying, like it makes up for what the audience has had to put up with in the failings of all the other films.
Like it's just I think like it's a Friday the 13th movie that's 100% fun, and everything about it, even the soundtrack, even to Alice Cooper. I love that's a fucking banner of a track, point. I love fucking he's back. And I love the music video for it as well. But Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts on this flick?
This one has a special place in my heart. Again, it's not my favorite of it, but it's a big one, important one for me personally, because this is the movie that I begged my parents to take me to, and my dad was like, "Okay, I'll take you, but if you freak out, you can't watch any horror for a while." And I loved it. In fact, when the movie was over, I was like, "Can we watch it again?" Little Jen also threw a fit because she wanted the standee. They had
cardboard cutout.
I wanted that. I threw a wall-eyed fit. I'm like, I want that in my bedroom. I didn't get it, but I wanted it. The reason, but again, and it's the opening that I really like, because one, I was so proud of myself. I recognized, oh my God, that's Horseshack. Oh, Mr. Cotta. I thought that was so cool that he was in a Friday the 13th movie. I don't know why. I also love that we're really leaning heavily into the Frankenstein myth with the whole, the lightning striking the coffin. I thought that was really cool. I like that it does have some brutality to it, but it also has some humor to it. It's fun. It's not my favorite. And also, what's the trope with the sheriff's daughter? Because we saw that in Halloween 4. Was it 4? Yeah, 4. Yeah, that seemed to be.
The only difference is this one's way better.
But I mean, we saw, and there's a few other movies that do the whole, the sheriff's daughter kind of thing. That seemed to be a big thing in the 80s, and it's not a criticism. I just wondered what that's about. It's just overall, and and it was a porn director who directed this one, and I'm all about porn, so yeah, I appreciate it for that reason too.
Oh, I know that.
It works on so many levels. It's not my favorite, but it works. It like I said, I remember going to the theaters with this one. That's how old your mother is. I went to the theaters for this one and I had a blast. So yeah. Go ahead.
Like the opening sequence, like, would you agree that if, like, again, this guy might have directed porn, but he had a good eye. Like the opening sequence, if you shot it in black and white, it could be like something out of a Universal monster movie. What do you think, Jen?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Totally.
That would have looked cool.
Christian, what's your thoughts on this movie?
As I've already stated, while I think 4 is probably the best made of them all, this is my favorite of the franchise. I love this movie to death. It's very fun and enjoyable, while still having a little bit of brutality in it. I really like this version of Tommy. I never thought about it, but someone mentioned, I like the fact that he kind of is fulfilling the Crazy Ralph role of trying to convince everybody about Jason being real. I like all that. And also, it has my favorite final girl of the entire franchise. I think she is super underappreciated. I really like her both performance and just the personality they give her. She's kind of a no-nonsense, like, tough bitch, but still being believable. I really like her. And yeah, I really dig the film. Like Trenchy said, kids at the camp is always a plus.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Christian, on the final girl, because just they give her a real sparky kind of personality. There's a bit where, like, there's a bit where she's just messing around at her dad's kind of wheelie chair, and she just fucking tumbles backwards, and she's playful, and she doesn't take shit from anyone, and she fucking holds up her dad's deputy and stuff to get Tommy out of prison. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Working backwards from you guys, Jen, Christian, favorite kills in this one?
For me, it'd be Horseshack. I mean, because I love and I also think that's the funniest part when he's like telling Tommy not to dig up Jason. You know, that's probably the funniest part in the whole series for me is that scene, and I hated that when he died. I was like, oh, not Horseshack. I was hoping he'd have a bigger part in the movie.
I get that. Fold-a-cop. I fucking love I love the fact that I don't think it just kind of shows how fucking like powerful Jason is now, like that he's basically a zombie. Like he just completely folds a dude in half backwards. I was like, that's super fucking cool. I really like that.
Ethel, favorite kill in this movie?
Hey, anytime you can fit somebody in a suitcase because you can fold them in half is a memorable for me. Like that's all I'm gonna say. I just want to call back to what Jen was saying about the sheriff's daughter, the officer's daughter, and all that. Like, I think that's like a trope because it's like that's that forbidden girl. Because like everybody knows that like our girl's father is going to be extra protective of her, and like that's like one of the most nervous moments when you're dating a girl and stuff. And it's like it's extra bad if it's somebody who's got like extra power and authority, like a police officer, because you know that they can just pull you over and fuck your shit up.
That's true. That's a good point.
Don't date someone that can legally Don't date someone whose father can legally shoot you. Tristan, favorite kill in this one?
It is the Fold-a-cop, as Christian mentioned. I love that kill, and since this movie was so attacked by the MPAA, that's one of the ones that didn't really need a lot of cutting down.
Yeah.
And I love the sound effect that goes with it because it's one of those kills that you can actually. This kill hurts. You can actually feel it. So yeah.
Trench, favorite kill?
When he's in the RV and he grabs a chick and pulls her into the bathroom, and then he puts her face through the mirror, and we see her face on the other end for like that white fabric or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's just a cool looking shot. I thought it was a interesting kill, and it's one of the kills that stands out not because of gore, but just how like kind of interesting it looks.
Would you say it's very comedic and tongue-in-cheek, kind of like a Looney Tunes cartoon?
It reminds me of like a funny version of Freddy coming through the wall in Nightmare 1. Like it's just silly stuff.
Moon says best kill is the back crack on the sheriff, and Megan ties with Jenny for favorite final girl. Guys, I'm gonna be cheeky bastard, and I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say my favorite kill is the entire paintball team. If you wanna fucking tear me a new asshole, I don't mind, but I just like him dispatching the weekend warriors with the paintball guns. Like he has one guy's arm at one stage and the machetes in the hand. I thought that was funny. Like that's my favorite kill. Anything else you want to bring up with this before we move on, guys?
Is there something?
I guess you could mention the fact that there was originally going to be a explanation for why like Jason had a grave and everything was that his father was paying off the gravekeeper, but they cut that.
Oh, Elias Voorhees.
We almost got to see Jason's father in the movie, but they cut it.
But Jason was cremated in one of the.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. In part 5, they say he was cremated.
Well, that just because you're cremated doesn't mean that you don't get a headstone. Sometimes that's the case, but sometimes.
Hey, guys! In the words of the guy who played Tommy Jarvis, who was also in Return of the Living Dead. Maybe the movie lied.
Maybe the movie lied.
Sorry, Ethel, I couldn't cross you. That was around my head there.
It's cool, but like, there's a lot of reasons he could have a tombstone. It could be part of like a living will left behind by Mrs. Voorhees. You know,
maybe he's Jewish.
We have a body.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is we have a body. Though.
Yeah, that's the one problem with it is we have a body. So but you know, If Roy Burns can be innocent, I'm sure we can work a way for him to be cremated and have a
Still
body.
on Roy Burns being innocent.
Maybe
Yes,
maybe Roy Burns stole the body and buried it somewhere before, and then gave him another body that they cremated.
Yes, I'm with you, Tracy.
No, I have an even better. I have an even better idea. Maybe the body isn't Jason. Maybe it's Roy Burns. The entire rest of the franchise is the zombie.
Yeah.
God damn it. So, I think we've covered all the angles. So let's move on to what I think is Jen's favorite entry into the franchise. I like this movie because I call it. Some people call it New Blood. I call it someone finally killed Bernie for the weekend. Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts on this one, New Blood? I can't read the fucking Roman numerals. I'm fucking sorry, I'm shit with the Roman numerals. Forgetting, but yeah, New Blood. Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts?
This is my favorite one, and it's purely nostalgia. And I can acknowledge there are better movies in the franchise, but for me, this is the one that always stuck a chord. This is the one I recorded. This is the one I rented over and over and over and over again. For me, the reason why it sticks out is because now Tina is my favored final girl of this series because she is badass, but she also had a woundedness to her, and then like I said, I could relate to her because she had some very issues with her father and alcoholism. I can relate to those things, and that's why I think it called so much to me. And I love her powers, and there's something very badass, but there's also something very wounded about her. And she's also one who saves people in this one because she saves her boyfriend Matt, and I think it's a sweet. I know this sounds stupid. I actually think this is kind of a sweet love story. I don't know. Yeah, I do. I don't know why. I actually really bought this, and I like the actor that played Matt. So yeah. I don't know why, and I think there's some cool kills, and this one also it's standard. But if you took out the Carrie stuff, it's pretty standard. But it also gives everything you want in a Friday the 13th movie, and it gives you the whole mind powers thing. And we also get the zombie lake, the powers of the lake, and the zombie dad in the lake. And there's and a fractured family dynamic, which I always find interesting.
True.
So that's why I particularly like it. And I just like Tina. I think she's like the perfect final girl. She's got a little bit of vulnerability to her, but she's also badass. She's not a Mary Sue.
Totally.
Go ahead.
I really like the film. I prefer Part 6 overall, but I really like New Blood. I don't understand why it has a lot of hate amongst a lot of Friday fans. A lot of people say this is one of the worst ones in the series. I don't see it. It does sort of by this point you can start to sort of feel that they were running out of ideas with the franchise of what they were really going to do with it for sequels. But I still think that they did some interesting stuff in here. I like the psychic powers things. We get brought this is the first film of Kane Hodder, so we get to introduce Kane Hodder and his portrayal of Jason, which is very iconic and very beloved, of course. And it has one of my favorite climaxes. Besides Part 4, I think this is the best climax of the entire franchise. I love her dropping the house on Jason and everything. I like all that.
And I also think one of the bitchiest, sluttiest characters is also in horror ever, Melissa with the pearls. I love that scene. So
I genuinely think the waitress from Part 5 is way sluttier.
I don't. Maybe not sluttier, but she's just bitch. Okay, maybe not sluttier, but definitely the biggest bitch of the franchise.
Oh possibly. Yeah, she's an absolute thunder cunt. But yeah, Ethel, your thoughts on Carrie versus Jason?
Psychic powers, guys. Who would have thought? Yeah. I sure didn't expect that. And I don't know. I love the idea that he gets dragged. I don't want to spoil it, but I guess what is a spoiler on a movie this old? But I love him getting dragged to the bottom of the lake because it leads into the next film where I think Jason looks the best he's ever looked. Honestly.
Yeah. And also at the opening, there's a legend around here.
There's a legend around here.
I love that.
Yeah. that's the other thing. That's the other thing, is it gives us the notion that maybe it's not that Jason is haunting the lake, it's that the lake is just fucking haunted on its own, and like Jason is a byproduct of that.
There is a comic book, again, fucking canon, not canon, that like these kind of settlers, these French trappers, commit a massacre on Native Americans and put the bodies into the lake, and that's why there's like spirits, evil spirits in the lake. And again, like I was talking to the guys earlier on about this. Is it also suggesting that Camp Crystal Lake is kind of enhancing Tina's powers? What do you reckon, Jen?
Probably.
I would think so. I because they kind of you're plugging them in basically together, and you're gonna get a higher boom, if you will. They're feeding off of each other. So I kind of buy that. I kind of buy that they're feeding off. And then I also like that Tina's just emotion when she's really emotional. That's when and I think it says something about misogyny in men and women, because men perceive us as creatures that are too emotional, and so we're gonna fuck up when we're doing emotional things. I like that touch in it. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too deeply into it, but it's very interesting because men always, oh little lady, just calm down.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole, don't tell me to calm down.
Yeah,
That was an interesting touch for me. Maybe I'm reading in too deeply though.
It's like, well, no, I'd agree with that. If you're upset, like you're upset for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh, go on, Ethel.
No, it's just like fucking people tell you how to feel. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's like men, kind of. I think it's an insight that sometimes that's how men see women. Sometimes, is when we're upset, we're two emotional creatures and we get into trouble. So.
Jesus Christ, Jen, will you calm your tits, okay? We're just not
I'm sorry.
Okay, moving on before she kills me. Trenchy, what's your thoughts on this flick?
Oh, it's a fun little movie. I wish that the MPA would leave horror movies alone and go up with something else to get more gore. But besides that, I enjoyed the movie on its own. I think it's a fun movie. I really like the main chick, Tina, and I like her dynamic with the party. And I do agree with Jen. Melissa is like on the almost on like a suit. The chick from Carrie, the mean chick from Carrie, or Angela from Sleepaway Camp levels of evil. Like she is an evil, vindictive bitch, and she's very memorable. And I love the ending where the dad, who even though he was murdered by his own daughter on accident, still loves her enough to come from the grave and manifest a physical form and pull a zombie like Terminator type character down into the depths to save his daughter. I thought that was fucking awesome.
Originally, I saw a deleted scene where he was way more zombified and decomposing when he came up to kind of tackle Jason. They should have left that in as well.
I call him Ghost Dad because he's more like, in this version, he's more of a ghost than a zombie, but I would have loved Zombie Dad.
Ethel, you get flashbacks to Bill Cosby tackling.
Me too.
That's what I was getting.
Me too.
I was just gonna think, Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby would have been a lot different if they'd used the makeup from this movie.
Oh fuck. Tristan, what's your thoughts on this flick?
I really enjoy this entry. It is one of my favorites in the franchise. I really enjoy the Tina character, and up until this point in the series, nobody stood a chance against Jason. So I think it was a really cool element to bring in a character with telekinetic powers and all that stuff, and all the backstory with Tina and the father, like was mentioned, and the lake. I really like this entry, and the fact that it does feature Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's has always tickled me a bit.
Yeah.
And he plays such a bastard in this.
Oh,
that's what I like about it.
Like I was delighted when he got his comeuppance. Tristan, favorite kill. Working backwards from Tristan. Tristan, what's your favorite kill in this movie?
I would say my favorite kill is the Bernie kill. With the what is that? Like a
Shears.
tree
It's
trimmer?
an automated kind of shears thing for like fucking shearing hedges and branches and shit.
Yes, a hedge trimmer. Yeah, that's my favorite kill.
Ethel, favorite kill?
I'm gonna go with the hedge trimmer myself. Not to sound like I'm copying off of people's paper, but yeah.
No.
It's a good kill.
I'm the hedge trimmer as well. Trenchy, what about yourself, dude?
Oh, I go with the sleeping bag kill because it's so iconic and so fun. But runner up is a kill people forget is where Jason takes this pump and he stabs this chick in the eye and it makes a fun little squeaky noise. Like I thought that's so fun. Underappreciated kill.
Yeah, that's right.
Tristan, your favorite kill, dude?
I didn't mention?
Oh, did I ask you already? Sorry, I'm fucking.
Yeah, I believe
Christ,
so.
I asked you to start. I'm sorry, I'm getting fucking Alzheimer's. No,
Oh, that's fine.
the hedge trimmer kill. You said that. Sorry, fucking sorry, dude. Sorry. Keep in mind, guys, it's 20-2, so I'm running on fumes.
It's late in
Christian,
your neck of the woods.
favorite kill. Jane Christian.
I like when the mega bitch opens the door and Jason's there and just boom in the head. I realize that I like people getting axed.
Yeah, you really like it when people get their heads fucked up.
Or someone in the back. Yeah, I've discovered this on this stream. I like people with axes getting axed to death. Something. I'm pro axing. What about you, darling?
Hedge trimmer, Bernie. We got to finally kill Bernie. It's about time he dies.
He's got to go.
Like, you know, he died, and then he got brought back through voodoo magic, and now he's got to be killed again. You know, Jason has to fix the continuity week into Bernie's.
But yeah, all in all, it's a fun flick, and like Tristan said, and like you said, Jen, like Tina's such a cool character, and it's cool that there's a character that can up till now there's a character that can go toe to toe with Jason. So we're moving on to what some people call Jason Takes Manhattan. I call it Jason Takes the Ferry. I'm going to let Christian open up this one because I think a couple of us are going to maybe tear it to pieces. Christian, why do you think people should watch Jason Takes Manhattan?
Okay, so for years I've been like the majority of people and been like, Takes Manhattan is like the second worst, if not the straight up worst of the franchise. Until 2 nights ago when I was rewatching it for this very stream, and I was sitting there and I realized this movie's actually pretty good.
Bullshit! Sorry about that.
I think this film has its major flaw and problem was its marketing, because I think everyone went in anticipating, Jason in New York, fucking running amok. You know, he's gonna maybe he'll fight like, you know, the Statue of Liberty or something. You know, who knows? He could do a lot of stuff with Jason in New York. Whereas the film is definitely not that. Actually, the film kind of dies down and like kills a lot of its pace as soon as we get to New York. But for the portions that's set on the ferry, I actually really like it. It's a fun, unique setting for Jason to be in. A lot of the kills are really good, and the characters are, well, nothing special, are better than a good majority of the franchise, I would say. There's a couple memorable characters in there, so I'll defend Jason Takes Manhattan. I think it's honestly not that bad. It's not the best of the franchise, but I don't think it's that bad, honestly.
Oh, okay, Christian, I got a question though, right? Okay, we know Camp Crystal Lake has magical properties. So does that explain why Jason ends up from the bottom of the lake on a ship out in the ocean?
Okay, so there was a fishing. There's a fishing boat going through Camp Crystal Lake from a rich billionaire Trump-looking dude. He kills them, and then that boat washes to the marina where the cruise ship is.
Oh, it's a lake.
I don't know how.
Lake in a dictionary. Oh God, Jesus fuck.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know. Look. I'm not saying it's a flawless film. You know,
It kind of sounded like you were.
Every movie has its issues. Part 5 has the whole convolutedness of Roy Burns.
He was innocent,
This
damn
one
it.
has the convolutedness of how a lake then transfers to an ocean.
It's simple, guys. It's quite simple. The lake has an offshoot estuary that you took to a river that's nearby that flows into the ocean that leads to New York. It's very, very simple.
What Ethel said.
They made a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Yes.
Jen, will you fucking talk sense into your boy, will you? I think you gotta check your butt. You gotta check under your young fella's bed. He's smoking something or shooting something. What's your thoughts on this, Jen?
Totally different from the boys. There's a few positives, not many, but there's a few positives. I'll get those out of the way. I do love this poster. I think the poster is fucking awesome. I think in my head, I don't know if this is true, but in my head, I like to think when he's in New York and fighting all the punks, I like to think the punks were played by Juilliard, classically trained Juilliard graduates. I don't know. That's just funny to me. Whenever I see that, I always think that these guys are in their off hours are quoting Shakespeare when they're playing these little punks. It's funny to me. And I love the song "Darkest Side of the Night" on the end credits. Everyone forgets about this song, but that was like the thing I would rewind and the darkest side of the night. I just love that song. But yeah. And the boxing scene is pretty cool. Why the fuck? I'm gonna ask this to Christian and I'll ask this to everybody, but why the fuck was Jason terrified of water at the end?
He wasn't.
Like a little sniveling little bitch.
Sweetie, he wasn't. That was a thing in Freddy vs. Jason.
No, but
no, he gets killed by the toxic sewer runoff of New York, as we all know. But
yeah,
he wasn't afraid.
Also, I gotta interject. Also, this portrayal of New York. The portrayal of New York in this is less realistic. The portrayal of New York in the live-action Ninja Turtles movie is more fucking realistic than this fucking movie. Barrels of toxic waste, ethnic gangs trying to rape and inject women with heroin.
Okay, that part's true.
The sewer system that has fucking toxic waste flowing through it on a fucking daily basis. I mean, what the fuck? Tristan, what's your thoughts on this movie?
Oh my. Jason takes a boat ride. Well.
Thank you.
Well,
go on.
There is something that I can appreciate about this film is that it's very claustrophobic on the boat. I like the fact that it takes place in an enclosed space for most of the film, so that's different for the franchise. And it has a few cool kills. It actually has one of my favorite kills in the franchise, the boxing match between Jason and the other character, and Jason punches his head off. I like head punching off kills for some reason. There's a similar kill in Killer Clowns from Outer Space that I love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there's not much. Yeah, there's just not many great things to say about this film. I suppose the cast isn't the worst of the franchise. There are some nice characters in the film, and I don't like the doctor or the therapist. He is, yeah. I just don't really like that character.
Oh, you mean not Robert Stack? Yeah, not Robert Stack annoyed the shit out of me as well.
Oh,
yeah, the Robert Stack. Yeah.
Ethel, what's your thoughts on Jason Takes the Ferry?
I love this film. Like, I don't understand why anybody hates it. We got the best looking Jason in the entire franchise right here. I love the waterlogged Jason. He looks great.
Me too.
I love the stuff on the boat. Like, all right, and forgiving the fact that like only the Times Square scenes were actual New York and the rest of this film was majority filmed in Vancouver. I still think it was great, and we all know that in New York they pump the toxic waste in the sewer. You do it for fun. The mole people like it. They appreciate it. It's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think this movie was supposed to tie into Chud?
That would have been
Jason.
like if we had gotten Jason versus Chud
Versus the
That would've
Ninja
been
Turtles.
Now that's just
Although this movie was too unbelievable to pit him against the Ninja Turtles, so yeah.
I will still contest that the depiction of New York in this one is much more realistic than the depiction of New York in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Trench, what's your thoughts on this masterpiece?
This one, like, Barry is a little mad, but I don't hate this one. It's better than the next piece of shit coming up. But, like, I like
Hey.
it's fun.
Fuck you all.
You got memorable characters. You have a young Kelly Hu in there who, like, just started her career, so that's dope. You got, like, I know he's killing people on a boat, but you got the rock star chick. She's memorable. Like, the cast is memorable. You got the chick with the diagram on her body. Like, you got it's got interesting characters, and they did the best they could. They didn't have the budget. They wanted to go to Madison Square Garden and the like Statue of Liberty, but they didn't have the budget. So you can't really fault them for that. You know, they tried their best, and they gave us the head knockoff scene. That's oh god, I'm running. And he kicks the boombox. That's cool. I mean,
That is a funny scene. I'll give you that, where he kicks the boombox and just lifts the mask, and all the punks like back off. They're like,
yeah, and I love how Jason's like the Terminator in this movie. He's got his targets and he sticks on them. Even though it would have been cool seeing Jason kill everybody in sight, it is dope seeing like, oh, I'm after these specific motherfuckers, and I'm not gonna let anybody get in my way. I won't go after anybody. If they get in my way, I'll kill them. But I just want to kill these people, and I thought that was cool. Like that's a new side of Jason.
and like, were you a bit disappointed? Were you not? Did you not find it disappointing that like he finally got to New York and what, the last 20 minutes or 30 minutes in the movie?
I was at first, but then I found out, like I said, it was because of budget restraints, and they wanted to do all this cool shit, but they couldn't. So I was like, okay, I get it. I give them a pass. I mean, it's not a great movie, but I can give it a pass.
Full Moon says this is his least favorite in the franchise. If anything, at least this gave us the fantastic interview with Arsenio Hall, which
Yes.
I absolutely adore.
Yes.
Trench, favorite kill in this movie?
By far the head knock-off sequence. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Ethel, favorite kill?
Geez, I'm gonna have to go with the head knockoff, but second favorite probably guitar.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Tristan, favorite kill?
The head being punched off is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Jen,
Head
favorite
knockoff,
kill?
but not to
Christian?
copy off everybody's.
There's a surplus. I actually like pretty much every kill in this movie. I mean, I'm going with the head knockoff because I just love that whole sequence of the dude just beating the shit out of Jason for like a minute straight, and then he just one-shots him and knocks his head off. I love that fight. I really like the kill in the sauna with him just shoving hot rocks in the dude.
Oh yeah.
And I like the one about with the cameraman. He gets chucked into an electrical box and his whole body sets on fire. I like that one a lot too.
Yeah, I actually go for the fucking not Robert Stack being dunked into the toxic waste head.
Yeah, he's getting
That's a good
dunked
one.
into the toxic waste is also pretty great.
Yeah.
Again, I don't hate this movie. I don't think they should have called it Takes Manhattan.
They
if
shouldn't
he's
have.
going to be doing most of the shit on the boat, but you know,
But the poster's cool.
Yeah, the poster is cool. So, guys, we're moving on to a bit of a controversial title, and I think I'm going to let Trenchy open us up.
Are you
With
sure
this one.
about that?
Yes.
Just yeah, Frenchy, you can have it. Yeah. Yeah.
Permission to go on a brief rant. I'll keep it as brief as possible. But
Go, my friend. Go, my
Rant
friend.
away.
/ lawyer.
Okay, so Trench, Jason Goes to Hell. I know this is one of your favorites. So why do you like this one so much?
Okay, quick little things I like about this movie. There are some dope kills. Actually, not a lot, but there are a few dope kills. One of the best kills in the franchises in this series. And Creighton Duke's a cool character. And the beginning's cool. And that's about it. This movie sucks ass. No offense to people that likes it. That's just my opinion. But like, fucking what the fuck, man? Who wanted to see Jason possess people the whole movie and shave people so he can possess them properly? And then they're like, oh, he has family now because it's like Halloween's popular. Let's do the whole Halloween route with a magical dagger, and only the family can kill him, but he's got to kill the family. And you know what? Freddy too. Freddy 2's okay. Let's have him try to possess a body like it's that, and we'll turn him into a little demonic weasel. And the way he comes back to life is he has to climb up his dead relative's vagina. Like, what the fuck? Okay, you can have Michael rape his cousin. I don't care. I can deal with that. But to fucking do that with Jason and make him not only kind of a necrophiliac, but also like, no. And then
Trenchy, the Necronomicon is in this. He may actually be a deadite.
No, but no, Jason's not a deadite. Fuck that shit. Where was Ashton? Where was Ash? We got Creighton. Duke was cool, but he didn't do anything. He just got hugged up on a table. Like, why? Even the directors were like, they were young people. They liked the franchise. They just they got the movie directing role of a lifetime. They were so happy. And then the guy said, you can't have the Jason mask in the movie. And they didn't know what the fuck to do, so they made this.
But Trenchy, it tries to do something. It's like poetry. It rhymes. It does so many different and interesting things.
What the fuck does that mean?
Popular horror, like a bunch of different popular horror movies, and makes boring ass characters. Like the main daughter character, she's boring as fuck. Like, it's cool you have a baby, but it's like there's nothing interesting about you.
Like, oh, come on, Trenchy. I don't think you're giving this movie a fair shake. In fairness now, this is I think this is fucking pinnacle. This is one.
I'm running out of breath. I'm gonna let other people take this.
Okay. I'm kidding with you. Jane Christian, what's your thoughts on
I don't know how I can follow that up. What he said. This movie sucks.
Okay, so like I'm not a defender of this movie.
You're kind of a defender of this movie.
I respect, like, they were just young kids and they were trying, like, there's a documentary and a thing, and when you hear that, you're like, okay, you can't hate it. You just kind of go, oh, bad things happen to these poor people. They tried to make the best of it. And yes, it's not a good film, but I will argue, I actually really like our opening sequence with the FBI agent and being like, I like how we're doing that. I thought that was really cool. I like Kane Hodder making that little cameo in it. I thought that was, there's little touches. There's Jason Burgers. I brought this up on every time we talk about this movie. Yeah. I fucking love Jason Burgers. I think that's fucking cool. Him trying to rape, Jason turning into a worm thing and trying to, it's a little icky, but it just goes off the rails. But and then Duke, I don't hate Duke.
Duke is such a good character.
He is.
He does nothing though.
He doesn't, but he just brings kind of like a panache. I like him. Do I like the movie? it's not so simple whether I like or dislike the movie, but I give it more sympathy than most. Like, I give it more sympathy. Acknowledge its faults, but I also kind of can give it somewhat of a pass. I know, hate me all you want, but I can kind of see what they're doing. I don't hate this movie, I don't love this movie, but I can't completely go, fuck this movie. I go, oh, poor movie.
I will admit, some of the dialogue in Creighton Duke is a bit interesting.
I love
Mr.
the
Duke,
dialogue.
what do you think of when I say the word Jason Voorhees? I think of a small 9-year-old girl in a floral dress, holding a corn dog in one hand and a donut in the other. I'm like, what?
Pure poetry. Pure poetry. That's like one of my favorite lines in the movie.
It rhymes.
He's cool. He's cool.
I liked the opening to it.
I do too.
I did. For some reason, though, I was wondering why, like, there's a character, a POV from a character's point of view called Mahoney, and is that suggesting that he was possessed already? I don't know. It's a weird fucking movie. I don't hate it. It's a jalopy. It's a jalopy made out of different parts of other cars, and it's like, sure, it runs, but should it be on the road? Probably not. Ethel, what's your thoughts on Jason Goes to Hell? The aptly named Jason Goes to Hell.
First, let me say I'll take a Jason burger with double cheese and pickles. All right, my big complaint is there's no hell in this movie. When I first heard of this movie, I'm like, oh, sweet, the first half of this movie, there's going to be like some epic shit with Jason, and then he's going to die, but then he'll be in hell. That didn't happen.
That
didn't happen at all. I kind of like the idea of him possessing people until he could, like, become himself again. I didn't like the stuff with the worm. I thought that was stupid.
Yes, it was.
You know, but like when he'd walk by a mirror and he'd see like the reflection of Jason instead of whoever he's inhabiting, that was cool. That was pretty cool. And another thing, I'd like to note that the creators of this film said that they wanted it to be like a treat at the end when you finally got Jason back, even though they kind of ruined that part. But
yeah,
like I can't hate it. I can't like it that much, but I certainly don't hate this film. I just not crazy about it.
It's fun to be had with it, but it's definitely a fucking absolute clusterfuck of a movie. Tristan, what's your thoughts on this movie?
I think it's a pretty big mess.
Understatement of the year.
The first film in the New Line era Jason films, and I think they made a pretty big mess of it. I like the first, about the opening 10 minutes. The SWAT team comes in and kills Jason. I think that's pretty epic. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they brought in family members who, and you know, this far into the series, and you're kind of wondering where were they the whole time. I think the effects in this film really don't hold up. I think most of them are very, very dated. And this just feels like a holdover for Freddy versus Jason to me. And this film is really weird. The whole thing with the worm crawling into places it shouldn't be, the shaving stuff like Trenchy mentioned. It's very, very weird. And yeah, I just don't know what they were thinking with this entry.
Yeah, look, it's obvious they were put into an untenable situation. I there is some head scratching shit in this movie. Like, why did he bother shaving that guy? Like, the first guy, he possessed the mortician, I think, had a mustache as well. I'm like, what the fuck? And also, is it just me or your man from the Halloween TV show that turns up in this? Was he supposed? I wonder, were they originally supposed to have Tommy Jarvis in this? Because I was getting a very big Tommy Jarvis vibe Part 6 Tommy Jarvis vibe off him. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was like, okay. Trenchy? Trench? Favorite kill?
Oh, well, the chick's in the tent and she gets stabbed and she gets placed in the. That's a good kill, especially in the unrated cut. Like I'll literally just skip to the scene and watch that because it's a good kill and it deserves recognition. But fuck the rest of the movie.
I'm actually with you on that. That's my favorite kill as well. Jen, Christian, favorite kills in this movie?
I like the coroner dying. I think that this, my professional opinion, this man is dead as fuck. And then, I like that. Because it kind of sets, I don't hate this movie. There's things I like about it.
I guess.
Then also seeing Kane Hodder dead in that little cameo, that was cute.
As I've said before in a previous video, this movie has no good kills in my opinion. So I guess I'll just go with the ones you were saying of like them getting killed in the tent and stuff. That one's probably the best one, but I still think it's like a meh kill of the franchise. So yeah. Jason Goes to Hell's the worst movie in the franchise. Fight me.
Oh no, I agree.
Yep, I knew you would.
Yeah,
I knew you would.
Tristan, favorite kill in this movie, if you have one?
yeah, I agree with Christian. I mean, there's just not very many good kills in this. I'm gonna go with Jason at the very beginning. I think that's the most epic part of the film. So yeah,
Where they literally have to use, I think, a mortar. They have to do an airdrop or a mortar, land the mortar on him. Yeah, that's pretty epic. Like, there's even fucking. I like that's a cool scene because there's even rounds ricocheting off his machete. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Ethel, favorite kill in this movie, if you have one.
Like Tristan said, I'm gonna have to go with that first kill, the Jason kill, where they kill him, because I like the whole lead into that, because you're watching it and you're like, oh, they're at Crystal Lake, oh, she's getting naked, she is a dead woman, but no, it's a trap. It's a trap, and they freaking ambush his ass. Like, I love that. It's a great kill. Second favorite would be the.
It's like. I can't hate this one. Like, I know you guys aren't fans of it. I'm not as enthusiastic for it as Jen, but
I acknowledge it has problems. I'm not a lover of this film.
do you know what this is like? This feels like a Marvel movie that was made just to set up another Marvel movie.
Holy shit, you're right. This is the Iron Man 2 of the Friday the 13th series. Holy shit.
Iron Man 2 is decent. Don't compare this piece of shit to Iron Man 2. Like, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I haven't watched Iron Man 2 in quite a while, so maybe you're right. Okay, fair enough.
It's not great, but it's not that bad.
Can we all agree that as far as Iron Man goes, the third one was the dog of that series?
Okay.
I've never seen any of them, so I can't.
I actually like the third one.
I was gonna say I'll never actually have another place I know of where I can say this. Iron Man 3 is my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, it was Shane Black. He made it into a buddy cop movie. But here, this is a fucking Iron Man thing. We'll discuss it. I'll do a Marvel stream at some stage. Right.
Cool.
Moving on. So Jason wasn't quite ready to face Freddy yet, so they send him to some place where no one can hear you scream.
One place where there is no capitalism. Spice!
Yeah, I was trying to show everyone your map.
Ethel,
Yes.
What's your thoughts on Jason X?
I love this one, and I mean, I guess you guys could probably guess that I'd love it because it's Jason in space. It's that whole sci-fi angle. But oh man, this is an awesome film. Just awesome. Like, the characters are kind of annoying and stupid, but that's what they're there for. You're not supposed to love them because this is a body count film. The only reason is because you want to see Jason. That's the whole reason you go to see this film. You want to see Jason, and you want to see him dispatch a bunch of people in space. And boy, howdy, does it deliver. And then it gives us the greatest reward of all. We get cybernetic Jason, who's fucking bulletproof.
Jason.
Fucking bulletproof Jason.
Ethel, do you watch Andromeda?
Yeah, I watch Andromeda.
So, wasn't it interesting that, like, about half of the main cast ended up in this movie?
I thought so. I was waiting for Sorb to make his appearance, but no.
I'm just wondering, is it maybe the production staff behind that were involved in this? And they're like, hey, get Becca Valentine and get fucking the Andromeda AI in this. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like, I think this is one of the few horror movies where although I'm gonna be fucking killed. I actually adore Hellraiser Bloodlines, but I think this is probably the one that does slashers in space the best. Well, slashers meant to be in space the best. But yeah, Ethel, all in all, you're a fan of this movie?
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't take itself too seriously. That's one of the things I like about it, and it likes to reference previous films. And it gives you something you haven't seen before. We've never seen Jason outside of that lake setting, aside from when he takes Manhattan. And like it's great. Jason on a spaceship. Who would have thought it would be so awesome? But it is. And I gotta say, I love that part. Or maybe he just wanted his machete back. No.
Best part of the franchise.
Trenchy, what's your thoughts on Jason X?
Oh, I love this movie. This is in my top 5. It's terrific. Like,
why do you love it, and why do you think it's so good?
Because the cast is memorable. It's fun. Like Ethel said, it doesn't take itself seriously. There's a giant space marine who, like, literally keeps fighting Jason and literally comes in at the end and turns Jason and him into a meteor. And as they're zooming towards Earth and on fire, the Marine still punches Jason in the head one more time. Like, he's still beating him up as they're a meteor. Like, the movie's awesome.
Tristan, what's your thoughts on this movie?
Well, how can I follow that up? Yeah, I really like this one. It holds a special place in my heart. This is the first Friday the 13th film that I saw in the theaters because I was way too young when Goes to Hell came out. But I like the setting, as I mentioned, with Takes Manhattan. I like that it's an enclosed space. I like the space setting. I think Jason looks cool. I like the characters. It has one of my favorite kills in the franchise. And I like the robot character, K-19. Am I correct? K-19?
I think so,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that that character. And I just think there's a lot of fun to be had in this film. It doesn't take itself too seriously, as has been said. And it's just really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. Jen, what's your thoughts on Jason X?
Jason X, it's a fun movie, like everyone said. Definitely, its strongest aspect is it knows what it is, and it's not trying to be anything but what it is, and it really makes it a fun watch. It's not one of my favorites in particular because I have to be all emo and like the more darker ones of these series, but it's fun, and the iconic line, oh, he just wants his machete back, and for me, my favorite part of this film is when he's at the
opening?
No. Where they're killing all the dumb, they're having sex.
Oh, the simulation where he's just being swarmed by horny teenagers.
Yes, that to me was hysterically funny. I love that part of the movie. It's a good time. It's not one of my all-time. When I'm marathoning them, it's not on the top of the pile, but it's not on the bottom of the pile either. I enjoy it, and I can understand why it's a lot of people's favorites. Mm-hmm. It's not one of my personal favorites, but I can see why it's a lot of people's, and it's fun. It's fun. What about you?
Hey, Jen, do you want to smoke some pot or have unprotected sex?
I'd rather have premarital sex, Marty. I'm against the drugs.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Christian, forget what I said there. moving on. What's your thoughts on Jason X?
It's a dumb, fun movie that knows exactly what it is. It is not. It is epitomized just stupid, mindless fun. It's really damn enjoyable. It has some great lines. It's super self-aware, which I always enjoy when it's done well. The kills are great. The cast is pretty solid. You get to see Jason in space, which is a new location
love
and
space.
setting for him. Every slasher franchise eventually needs to go to space. That's how we know that it has truly become a great slasher franchise is when it goes to space. Although Marty, I am a bit hurt and shocked by the fact that you said this is the best slasher movie in space when obviously Leprechaun 4 is the best slasher movie in space.
I knew this was coming.
Mitchell Jr., I'm going to throw you into fucking space.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a fun movie. And I gotta admit, I was like, is that David Cronenberg? David Cronenberg in the opening of the movie. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's got some wicked kills. Probably my favorite is where the girl gets her head dunked in liquid nitrogen and then just fucking slammed on the counter. Jen, Christian, what's your favorite kills in this movie?
My favorite is, hey guys, he just wants his machete back. I know that's probably going to be a lot of people's answer, but it's such an iconic thing.
It is the best line in the entire franchise, in my opinion.
And then he just dies, and he's so surprised.
He's like, "Oh, you killed me, but I gave you your machete, man."
Yeah, like
I thought we were buds.
He just doesn't look like I thought we had something. I thought we had a connection, man.
Yeah, no. That one is great, but I'm gonna go with Marty and go with the deep freeze.
That's
I really like the deep freeze. It's really damn fun.
It's a good one.
Tristan, favorite kill, dude?
Yeah, the head smash kill is really cool, but that's probably my favorite. But another one is when I believe one character is walking on one of the catwalks in the spaceship, and Jason knocks him over the side, or he falls over the side, and his body kind of twirls down this
giant drill.
Yes.
Yeah, Full Moon said that's his favorite as well, Tristan. Yeah, that's a pretty gory kill. Where one of the Space Marines, I think, Jason's taking them out one by one.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a cool kill. Gee, that is an awesome kill, Tristan. Ethel, favorite kill?
It's got to be, and I would say that this is probably one of the most memorable kills in the entire franchise, is the liquid nitrogen kill. I love that kill, because like it shows her drowning and then freezing, then he smashes her off the table and just like, yep, fuck you, bitch. And like, I love that. I love the callback with the sleeping bag kill in the hollow simulation, because it's so much funnier. Because you know that they're holograms, and it's just making a callback to the old movie. It's like he just cuts back to him. He's beating her against the tree. I love that.
That's a good one. Oh, also, I gotta mention a runner-up kill in this movie is where one of the it's so stupid, so tongue-in-cheek, where the bitchy one is the ship decompresses and she's sucked out through a hole, and her last words are, "This sucks."
Yes.
Yeah, this sucks on so many levels, and then she gets sucked out the hip.
Tredge, what's your favorite kill in this movie?
I really like the liquid nitrogen kill as well. That's probably my favorite, just for how fun it is and like how cool it looks. But like, if you ever runner-up kill, like I like how some of the people kill themselves. Like, I like the one chick that blows herself up, if I remember right. She's in this little compartment, and she's freaking out. And she accidentally blows herself up. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, she in the escape shuttle.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not properly discharged. And I think that there's a breach or something and it explodes. But yeah, no, fun movie. Interesting kind of take, and one of the better movies, slasher movies set in space. I remember when I was younger watching this, I was like, oh, would it be cool if he went up against the Xenomorph or the Predator because he's in space? That would have been cool. It's like fucking him fucking fighting Alien and Predator on a fucking spaceship. But good movie, fun movie, and we're leading up to what I feel that Jason Goes to Hell was, and that is.
Say it.
Jen, is this your favorite? Is this one of your favorites?
One of them. Not my favorite, but one of them.
So, since it is, I'll let you start. Jen, Freddy versus Jason, your thoughts?
Okay. Well, see, I'm sitting next to a fucking hater right here. You do. No, I wish you'd admit it.
Before you go on that, I just want to make this very clear. I have major issues with this movie.
He hates it.
I do not hate Freddy versus
does.
Jason.
Every time I put
now
it
get
on.
On to your.
Every time I put this movie on, why are you watching this one? This one sucks. This one sucks. No, it doesn't. It's fucking awesome. Now, to me, like I know you guys, a lot of you guys like the space one better, but to me, this is the one I have a lot of just dumb fun with. There are issues. I get that some people do not like this one, but I first of all, it's just like as a little girl that grew up in the 80s and 90s, it's so cool. Finally, after so long, seeing Freddy and Jason together on the big screen. I love that. I think the kills are great. One of my favorite lines in this movie is the cornfield. Well, why don't you go fuck your sister some more? The kills are cool. It brings some of the best aspects of the whole series. The kills are just, they're good. They're just like, they're Friday the 13th kills. I don't care. Shut up. It is. And I also like our characters. I think it's cool that one of our Destiny's Child singers is in this movie, and I think she doesn't do bad. The one, our main character, our final girl in this, she is a little Mary Sue, but I can forgive that. And also, Jake Busey's in this. Isn't he? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I want to say he is. There's just a lot of reasons. I find this one fun. I get the way some people get glee out of Jason X. This is the one that gives me glee. I just think it's a fun, good time that knows what it is, and it's cool. Plus, we got the Vegas fight beforehand where they.
I was gonna say the Vegas weigh-in fight is like the best thing about this movie.
And
I love this flick. I'm with Jen on this. This is probably Jen's Alien versus Predator, although this was probably better. But yeah, like I can understand why growing up and you see these guys face off, like you're getting vibes of Alien versus Predator, but you're also getting King Kong versus Godzilla and Dracula and the Wolfman versus Frankenstein, and it's cool. It's cool. And England, I actually think this is probably the third best performance of Freddy Krueger by Robert Englund. Maybe you think that's heresy, but I find it that way. Christian, what's your thoughts?
He's a hater. A hater.
I don't hate this.
He does. I wish he'd just admit it.
This movie I would describe as cool ideas, really unimpressive execution.
Why?
The only thing I can ultimately ever feel towards this film is complete and utter apathy. The kills, I think, are some of the worst in either franchise, honestly. There's not a single one I really like. The Krueger, England's good in the role of Krueger. Our Jason's fine. There's some weird story stuff.
And we get to see Pamela, even though it's Freddy, Pamela Voorhees. I love that.
That was fine. Our cast of our cast of victims are all, I don't remember a single one of them, honestly. Like
I thought these were actually probably the most fleshed out characters there is, because you had Catherine Isabel as the kind of fucking pushover bullied girlfriend. Monica Kenna was a fucking boring actress. Not her fault, probably just not given enough to do. Jason Ritter, John Ritter's son, was pretty likable.
Yes.
You had not Jason Mewes. It was so obvious they wanted Jason Mewes, but they couldn't get him. I liked the character. I liked not Miles Tiller. I liked fucking your one from Destiny's Child. I think they were pretty well fleshed out. They weren't that forgettable.
You could literally pull a picture of them up right now. I could not tell you who the final girl of this movie is.
She's blonde, pixie cut.
Yeah, I can't remember anything about them. The best part of the film is its finale. The final fight with Freddy and Jason is pretty cool to see. but I kind of feel it was a little too late. A little too late. It just the whole movie is just kind of boring to me. I've not really ever been that engaged with it. I like some of the ideas in it, just don't like the execution altogether.
He's a hater.
Just kind of meh.
He's a hater.
Ethel, what's your thoughts on Freddy versus Jason?
I like it. I like it. Like I've got problems with it. All right, like I saw this one in the theaters. The audience friggin' loved it. I was enjoying it. I wasn't quite as enthused as they were, but I liked it. I kind of wish we had more of the Freddy versus Jason battle than what we got.
Yeah.
Jason looks rather anemic in this movie, kind of puny. I heard they did that because they didn't want him to look so much bigger than Robert Englund, and maybe perhaps they were afraid that if they cast Kane Hodder, he might hurt Robert Englund, because sometimes Kane gets a little into his role.
Yeah.
Like he broke, like in the last movie, he broke one of those space guys' noses when he slammed his face against the wall in real life.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because he got too into it.
He gets exuberant.
But it was cool. I love that part where before I get to that, I don't understand why Jason is all of a sudden afraid of water, but I'll accept it.
That
We need
makes
to
no
get some money.
sense.
Yeah, I like some of the flashback stuff, and I like the fact it was a good method of getting into Jason's psyche that Freddy was like probing him, and I did like the kind of the first skirmish. I get you guys. There should have been more Freddy versus Jason battling in this, but I was fairly happy with it. But at the same time, I can see where you're coming from. Tristan, your thoughts?
I really enjoy this film. By the time this film came out, I had seen all the Friday and Nightmare films, so I was really pumped when this came out. I also saw it in theaters opening weekend with a crowd that really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it. When you boil it down, it's really just a fun popcorn film.
Yes.
The best things about it really are the fight scenes between Freddy and Jason. Those are pretty epic. I do enjoy the characters. Monica Keena does get a lot of hate for her performance, but I actually enjoy her. So I'm, in the minority there. But I just like how the characters interact with each other, and I also think that it's the best Freddy that we got since Dream Warriors. I think it's the best mix of fun Freddy and menacing Freddy.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, man.
Yeah, I'm agree
Yeah,
too.
and this is just a fun film, and I enjoy it. And I think that the kills are pretty cool, especially the bed folding scene near the beginning with Trey. And I love Catherine Isabel, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trench, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, I'm actually with Jen. I love this movie, and I do like it better than Jason X. It's in my top 5 as well. And one of the reasons is this was my introduction to Freddy and Jason. This is how I first saw them. Is
Cool.
this movie.
Nice.
Very cool.
And I enjoy the characters. Like, I think all the characters are it's a good cast. I like it better than AVPR Requiem. Everybody compares them to the AVPR Requiem fucking cast. I'm like, no, these guys are way better. You got Catherine Isabel. You got that dude from Scary Movie and Night at the Roxbury who just keeps showing up in random ass shit. Like, I love the kills. I love the fight. I love this movie. It's just fun all around for me. I don't really have a problem with it.
Very cool.
So, guys, before I ask you the favorite kill question, I'm going to work backwards for one thing, right? Trenchy, who won in the end?
Ooh.
Oh fuck! Jason chopped off that motherfucker's head. I know they're in the dream world at the end, and I know he got help from the chick. But in the end, I think he did a lot of damage on Freddy, man. He beat the shit out of Freddy more than Freddy beat the shit out of him. He put Freddy.
Okay, so you're giving it to Freddy. Ethel, who won this one?
I'm going to say what I said when I was debating it with my friends after I got out of the theater. Come on, man. Which one of them still had their head attached?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tristan, who do you think won?
Well, I am a Fred head, so I may be a bit biased, but I do believe that Freddy won because yes, they are in the dream world at the end, and Freddy winks, and that just goes to show that Freddy is still in the mind of Jason and able to torment him in the dream world. So yeah, my belief is that Freddy won.
Christian, who do you think won?
I'm gonna go with Tristan and say Freddy won. They're in the dream world. He winks. I'm gonna say Freddy.
Jen, who
I'm
won?
good. I'm gonna say it was a draw. Like,
oh my god.
Fuck you. Okay, no, I'm trying to be fair. Fuck you. See, I agree with Christian and Tristan. Like, probably in the main thing, Freddy wins because we're in the dream world. But as far as kicking ass, I would say I'd give it to Jason. So in a way, they both won. Fuck you. Not you guys. I was telling my son that.
Don't give your mother lip, boy. I'll come over there and give you a whooping. Jen, Christian, favorite kill in this movie?
I like the rave one where the girl's like almost raped.
Jesus.
She's on. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about.
It's kind of weird in a way. Jason kind of saves her from being murdered by Freddy and also raped, but also murders her. So is it like, is it some kind of, I don't know.
I like the moral ambiguity of that scene.
He altruistically murders her.
Yeah. What about you?
The one where he cuts the woman.
Oh
with
my
the
God,
machete.
you are such a hater.
I literally don't remember a single kill from this movie, so I'll just say the final fight with him and Freddy, if that counts. I don't remember a single kill from this movie.
You know who would say that?
I watched it like 3 months ago.
Who would say that was a hater?
I don't remember any kills from this movie.
Tristan, your favorite kill?
So Freddy turns into this very weird, very bad CGI caterpillar creature and possesses the stoner character, and the stoner character ends up getting cut in half by Jason in the hallway. So that's probably my favorite kill.
So the one where Jason kills not Jason Hughes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ethel, favorite kill?
I like his little fucking rampage in the field.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. I'll give you that. That's my favorite one. Just him going apeshit as well at the rave. Trench, favorite kill in this movie?
The fold-up bed kill where he stabs the dude in the back a bunch of times and then folds up the bed to break his back. But honorable mention to Freddy Krueger for burning the words into that guy's back and like sticking him to the floor and like killing him in like the most brutal way. But,
that's what gets me as well. Freddy only kills one person in this movie.
But the kill's brutal as fuck. I wish.
Oh yeah, it is. But it's like if you look at it, Freddy kind of. I think Jason won because he got a bigger kill count.
But the cool thing about this movie too is Jason is kind of the anti-hero of the movie. The kids choose him as their savior. They're like, we're gonna use him to beat Freddy, and then maybe if we just leave him at the lake and get the fuck out of here, he will leave us alone. If we just bring him home and have him beat up this pedophile that's just gonna haunt us forever, like this fucking killer, then maybe we might be able to get away with this. So I like how he's kind of the hero of the movie. I thought that was.
I do too.
Okay, so moving on to the last flick, and I might make a quick mention of stuff. If not, because I know. Again, if anyone has to go Collecterman, if you have to dust off or anything, let me know, dude.
I can definitely stay on a few more minutes.
Okay. So, given that, so Collecterman, what's your thoughts? Because you got to go. I'm going to let you have the opening statement on this. The remake, the 2009. Is it 2009 remake?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tristan, what's your thoughts on the 2009 remake?
So my thoughts have changed a bit over the years. I saw this one in theaters as well. I didn't really come away liking it all that much. I didn't like the fact that Jason took people, like kidnapped people and things like that. I found it pretty uninteresting at the time, but I've grown to like it more as the years have gone on. I think it has some interesting kills, and most of the characters are annoying, but I do think it goes a bit overboard uh in the TNA department probably. Um, yeah, overall this one isn't that bad. It's not my favorite in the franchise by far. It's kind of middle of the road for me.
Mm-hmm. And what did you think of Derek Mears as Jason? Actually,
I thought Derek Mears did an awesome job as Jason. I liked the brutalness and very very big too, very a very tall Jason.
Yeah.
yeah,
Foreboding.
he kicked ass because a year later he went on to play one of the super predators in Predators. He kicked ass in that. He was the berserker predator in that. So yeah, fucking Derek Mears kicks ass, and yeah, no, it's I can understand where you're coming from as well. I think it's a film that ages better with time. I don't know. What do you think, Tristan? Do you think like once you get over the initial kind of love for the originals, there is something to be enjoyed here, right?
Yeah, and it's not really fair to compare it to other remakes, but I've seen far worse remakes
Yeah.
from, so yeah.
Platinum Dunes, yeah. Ethel, have you seen this one?
Yeah, it's Jared Padalecki versus Jason. I seen this one.
Yeah. The Winchester brother versus Jason Voorhees. What's your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I don't like how they kind of smartened Jason up. Like, oh, he's got alarms and he's got like a network of tunnels and like he's a woodsman. No, he's a fucking zombie, fucking mentally challenged fellow that is getting revenge. Like this is not what Jason is. Like the movie itself was sound, and Jason looked good, but at the end of the day, he wasn't really Jason for me.
You didn't like the whole survivalist kind of trapper Jason.
Yeah, no, because he's not smart. He's not smart. He's like, all right, if you can fool him with like a bad haircut and some crappy makeup, in a previous film, then like for sure he's not going to be smart enough to like have all this backwoodsman BS. Like, I don't know, it's just it got away from the simpleness of what this character is. And I feel like that's a common thing with these remakes. They get away from the simple concept and they want to explain everything. Let's tell the audience how he can be in these places suddenly ahead of everybody. No, I don't fucking need to know. I just need to enjoy it. I don't want to know. I don't care. He's magic. That's
He's magic.
A wizard did it.
I know. I get where you're coming from, and I understand that. Like, it's like New Coke when they launched New Coke. It's like, can we have the original recipe? Trenchy, what's your thoughts?
It's okay. Like, I don't hate on this movie like other people. There's some cool kills, and like, I like how Jason's like an angry weed farmer in this one. Like, he's just
Yeah. Ben says that. Love the kills and love the idea of Jason's pot farmer Jason.
yes, exactly. And like, him kidnapping the chick is weird, and I do think Danielle Panabaker should have been the final girl instead of that chick, because we don't know anything about her.
I actually thought that was clever because I got a fucking shock.
Yeah.
Did you not get a shock when that happened?
I did get shocked, but the thing is, I wish we would have seen more of this girl in prison. I wish we would have got more of this girl being captive. Why did Jason have her? Well, we kind of know that, but I would have liked to see her more in the captive situation. I think that would have been interesting. So I could have got behind her character more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really care about her character and if she lived or died, but I cared about the Danielle Panabaker character. So if they built up that other character a little bit more, I think it would have been, better than just having her just appear at the end to save the day,
Gotta say, Need Gore, Corey put a brilliant comment. Smart enough to create an underground fortress, still fooled by a necklace and a sweater. Brain, science. Nice one, Corey.
That's a very good point, Corey.
Yeah.
Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts on this remake?
Well, you see, I'm in the minority with this one. I actually got to go see this in the drive-in. I actually got to see this in a drive-in, and most people did not like this film when it came out. I think some people are kind of turning around to it now, but most people, when it originally came out, really, really hated it. And I actually thought it was a really good time. I will say that it is a popcorn flick, and yes, if you're a diehard Jason fan, I can see that there's some issues. Some of the issues that were brought up already, I can understand, but for me, I love the humor in this. This movie has it has a good mix of really brutal kills, but it also has some really good humor. There's some really legitimately funny stuff, especially in the beginning of the film. I like this movie. I like the kills. I like the big Jason. And yeah, I get that if some people don't like the fact that he's got a little bit more, he's a little smarter in this one than some of the others, and the tunnels bothered people. But I actually thought, if we're going to be doing a remake, one of the things you want to be respectful to it, but you want to do a little bit, give it its own spin.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this remake ultimately did. It's one of the better. It's compared to like the Nightmare on Elm Street or the Stepfather or the Fright Night remakes. This is like leaps and bounds better, and a lot of other remakes. It's better. It's way better. I have a good time with this one. It's not perfect, but just for a fun turn off your brain one, it's a great one. And I also like how I wish we would have had a little bit more Pamela Voorhees in the beginning. I do wish that. I like how they combined some of the movies together. So, but I like it.
Also, Jen, can I interject?
Sorry.
Ethel, I thought you might like this movie because Pamela Voorhees was played by Major Kira.
No, that part I liked, and like don't get me wrong, I don't hate this movie. I just don't care for what they did to Jason.
No. I was kidding. I was just like I know. I was just like I was actually surprised you didn't promote Nina Visitor as Pamela. Like, did you know? Did you know that?
I did. I did. I forgot to mention it.
Yeah. No. It's just. I remember watching this. Is that Major Kira? Why isn't she on DS9? Why isn't she looking for fucking Cisco? What the fuck? Sorry. But moving on, Christian. What's your thoughts of the movie?
I think it's fantastic. It's it's honestly like in my top 5, maybe even top 3 Friday movies. I really like this movie. Derek Mears is tied with Ted White for my favorite Jason. I love the design for him. I like how brutal of pretty much all the kills. I honestly, this is the one Friday the 13th movie where I don't think there's a single bad kill in the film. I think they all are really damn good. Our cast is okay. Padalecki's a pretty decent lead. Our final girl, I'm kind of like what you said of like, yeah, I wish we would have gotten a little bit more to flesh her out, but she's fine for what she is. The rest of the cast is okay. Some of them are a bit more annoying than others,
but I think they're supposed to be.
Oh yeah, and you got like preppy douchebag who's like kind of enjoyable to hate. I actually really like the 2 stoner friends.
Yeah.
I like their relationship a lot. Yeah, I really like this movie.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, so starting with Tristan, because I know you gotta dust off fairly soon, Tristan. Favorite kill in this movie?
This is a hard one because for some reason I'm not recalling specifically the kills in this.
Do you want me to circle around and get back to you?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, my favorite one is probably the sleeping bag, the updated sleeping bag kill, where that poor chick is like zipped inside the sleeping bag and put over the campfire.
You took mine.
That is that girl probably
Kelly,
gets
we can
like
share. We're in a relationship. We're allowed to share, right?
Okay.
that girl probably gets it worse than anybody else in the entire franchise. That might be the worst death in the entire
Yeah.
franchise.
I'm not going out there with a heart on.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, that death is brutal.
Jen, so your favorite one is the same as mine?
Yeah, I love that. I think and it's like they could have like cut back on it, but I love how the camera goes back and you see all of her flesh. She's just this big lump, and she almost
the
looks like
smoke, the smoke
Yeah, the
billowing out
smoke.
of her mouth, and she's
Yeah,
like literally being char grilled. Christian, what's your favorite kill in this one?
Like I said, I like pretty much all of the kills. That one is fantastic, but I'm gonna go for a twofer of. I actually really like the boat kill. The one of not Owen Wilson, as I dub him, because that actor looks really like Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
he has
he
an arrow
does.
through his head, and then his girlfriend, who was like ski boarding behind him, is like hiding under a dock, and then Bashir just comes down and just stabs her right in the head. I really like that. I really like that too.
That's cool because like he pulls her up out of the water, and as if some kind of sick fucking reward for the audience, we get to see her boobs one more time before she slips off the body and bobs back into the water. Ethel, favorite kill in this if you had one?
I'm gonna have to go with the Doc kill, just like was just mentioned. I'm like, oh damn it, he stole mine, but I'm gonna go with the Doc kill. I also did like the sleeping bag kill a lot. Kind of interesting. It's roast you over fire. I got it.
Trench, favorite kill in this one?
My favorite's the sleeping bag kill because it's cool and it makes me think that Jason was gonna eat her, and that's an awesome plot. But like, I also like when the douchebag gets like impaled on the tow truck. That was really cool. I just find it funny that the guy's so scared he's driving off, and who knows how far he drove with just this dead body impaled on the tow truck.
He comes into town with a corpse in his back. Have I got a story for you? Yeah, back. You do. You better tell it to the police. Oh shit!
I feel like I've seen another movie where someone gets killed on the back of a tow truck, but I can't remember what it is. I feel like I've seen that before.
Was it fucking Texas Chainsaw New Generation?
Oh shit, man! Wait, what? I'm not sure, but that it quite possibly could have been that.
Matthew McConaughey, robot legs.
Oh yeah.
He works for the Illuminati.
Tristan, any more kills come to mind, or?
Since the tow truck one was mentioned, yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Cool beans. So yeah, we've gone over the main body of the franchise. There are fan movies out there. I haven't been impressed by any of them, and I think people are so starved for Friday the 13th content that they get really excited over them. And I'm not trying to be a fucking snob or anything. I think they're really well shot. The production value is good, but it's just, and I know it's Friday the 13th, but they kind of were a bit higgledy-piggledy when it comes to plot. But again, Tristan, because I know you got to dart off. What's your thoughts on the fan movies before you have to dust off?
The only one that I recall seeing is Never Hike Alone. I did enjoy that one.
Yeah.
What you think worked and what you think didn't work?
I really liked the look of Jason in that one. I think it was really well shot and really well lit, and yeah, I think it was really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was cool. Just to address the chat as well. Saturday the 14th, parts 1 and 2 are bust. Back off, John Steele. Derek Mears is my favorite Jason. I like the fact he's not all bulk and more athletic overall. Love the bonk sound when the girl's head hits the upside down of the dock. Yeah, me too. Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts on the fan films?
I'm not gonna front. I really do like Never Hike and Never Hike Alone. It appealed to me, and it could be like what you said, Marty. At that time, we were so starved for content that anything Friday the 13th. But I also say it's a damn good movie. I love the YouTuber aspect. He's kind of.
I actually really like our final boy in the film. I actually really like him as a character.
I do too, and it's kind of it's making it more in the modern time, but it's still being very respectful to what we knew in the past. I really like that. And I also love the passion that the director had for it. Really, really great film. I really dug it. Never Hike in the Snow. I know we were setting up for it, but it wasn't as good. It wasn't as good. And the rest of the fan films, I respect it for their independent spirit, but I'm not crazy about him, and I'm not trying to be a snob either, but no close but no cigar.
No, that kind of same with you. Yeah, I love Never Hike, and but other than that,
Any other thoughts, Christian? Anything you want to add on what your mom said, or?
Never Hike was fantastic.
Really good.
Was really fantastic. If we're counting that as an official part of the franchise, I would put it in the top 5. I think it's really damn good. Never Hike in the Snow was really good, but also kind of a letdown. I was excited for it, and then it kind of was okay, I would have liked a bit more. But getting to see Jason and Winter's cool. So yeah, and the rest of the fan films, like you said, I respect the spirit and the sheer ingenuity and just passion that people have to make them, but they're not really my thing.
Mm-hmm. Trenchy, what's your thoughts?
I've only seen Never Hike Alone. I didn't see the sequel. That was good. It was a solid little movie. I liked the main character, and I liked how they turned it into more of a survival horror than a slasher. I thought that was an interesting take on it. But only other fan film I've seen was, I don't even know if it was a fan film or some weird parody, but there's these women in bikinis, and then Jason starts hunting them and they're running from him, but Jason keeps running into these different characters that talking to him, and then Jason kills them. They say some funny shit and then he kills them, and then in the end the girls beat the shit out of him on a basketball court or something, I think, if I remember right. But he's able to kill one of them, but she says a catchphrase before she dies, and then the other girl, I think, is able to beat the shit out of him and kill him. It was weird. I don't remember it well, but it was weird.
Ethel, have you watched any of the fan films, and what's your thoughts, if so?
I have not seen the fan films. I am just learning about their existence right now.
Okay.
There is one other thing, Marty, that's coming out in October, that Jennifer Voorhees, she played Tina in part 7, and that's her real name, Voorhees. She got everyone together, Kane Hodder, Corey Feldman, and a bunch of the other final girls, and she's making a movie, and it's coming out in October.
It's the 13th fanboy?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be, it looks good. It sounds promising. Now, it could be a big trash fire, but I'm kind of down to see it. I'm interested.
So wait, is it...
Oh, sorry, Ethel, what?
I was just gonna say, Jen, is it continuing the story from Jason, from Freddy versus Jason, or one of the other films?
From what I understand, it's somebody's it's not actually Jason, or it might not be Jason. It's somebody stalking all these women from the Friday the 13th films, and somehow Kane Hodder and Corey Feldman and some of the other people, Tommy Jarvis, whatchamadude that played Tommy Jarvis in part 6 is going to be in it. Tom Matthews, yes. Yeah. They're all going to be involved, but it's going to be someone kind of a copycat.
It's more like a meta thing of a fan of the Friday the 13th movies is hunting the actors of the movies.
Kind of like the Human Centipede 2. It's kind of that premise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tristan, what's your thoughts on the fan films, and what's your thoughts on the future of the franchise, considering what's going on lawsuit-wise?
Well, the only fan film that I saw was Never Hike Alone, and I enjoyed that one. But as far as the future of the franchise goes, I have no idea about this lawsuit that's going on. I know that the franchise is obviously well loved, and we all would like to have a new film or a television series or whatever that may be, whatever it is that involves Jason. Um, yeah, this franchise is just really cool, and there's a reason why it's gone on so long and has been so popular because it has some great effects. There's been some memorable characters, um, a lot of fun to be had in the franchise, and yeah, I just hope that everything gets resolved pretty quickly so we can get the franchise going again.
Yeah.
Cool
Well said.
beans. Before I get into talking about some of the expanded media, Ethel, did you want to have a brief run over, or not even a brief run over, a discussion on the TV show? And also, guys, if this is running on too long and you want to leave, anyone wants to go, I totally understand. If anyone, guys, are you up for sticking around talk about the TV show?
Oh yeah.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably do have to pop off now, but I really thank you for inviting me. I had a great time. My first time streaming with Jen and Christian. You guys are awesome. Love talking
We
about the
loved streaming
franchise.
with
It was
you.
a
You did an
pleasure.
amazing job.
Yeah,
You
it
did
was
an
a
amazing
pleasure.
job.
You kicked ass. Also, before you go, Tristan, one more thing, because you fucking, because I feel bad. What's next for you? What's the next project for you? What's coming up on your channel so people can check you out?
I have some collectibles that I picked up recently that I'll be showing. Um, I am working on a review for a horror film that's coming up, and I am also going to be entering the Horror of Spice contest. So I just want to get that out there and plug their contest. They have a contest going till the 31st of this month, and they're giving away some awesome prizes, and they're really cool people. So check them out.
Cool beans.
Very cool.
Tristan, you're an absolute gent. Thanks a million for coming on. Sorry for fucking, sorry for holding you up if I held you up, dude. But it's been a pleasure having you.
It was my pleasure being here.
You're always welcome on my channel, dude. Remember that, okay? So peace out, man. And guys, anyone watching, check out Collecterman's channel. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below. And Tristan, absolute legend, man. Fucking, you're always welcome on the channel, okay? See you later, dude.
Thank you.
Stay frosty, man.
It's great streaming with you.
Adios.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Right.
Adios.
Bye. Ethel,
Got
did you want to talk about the TV show quickly, or
Yeah.
am I holding you up or anything? No.
No, I got nothing. I thought I'd have plans tonight, but apparently that didn't happen. But no, we can talk about the TV series.
Okay. I'm not as, I don't have as much in-depth knowledge. Do you know a bit about it, or does Trenchy know about it, or do you guys know about it?
I've watched
I'm not
it.
too well versed.
I've watched it, but it's an anthology series, really. So I mean, there's not much depth to go into except talk about the absentness of Jason. There we go. Not absence. I mean, he wasn't drunk
Does
or
his
anything.
hockey mask at least turn up in the antique shop?
There's ongoing themes, I feel like. From what I've
Like,
seen,
I
I haven't
think-
seen everything, but
I think the original plan was to lead up to eventually bringing Jason in or bringing characters from the movies in, but they never quite got there. The hockey mask does show up, but it's in the background.
Very cool.
And yeah, the actor from Trenchy's favorite Friday the 13th is one of the main characters in it, if I'm not mistaken. It's a cool anthology, I think. Like every week is a cursed object. Kara, if Kara was on, she'd probably, I think she knows the show inside out. But yeah, it's fun. Have you any favorite episodes you can remember, Ethel? or any you recommend people to check out?
I'm trying to remember what the name of it was, but there was one with a cursed mask, and it would take people over. But I mean, it wasn't a hockey mask or anything. It was like this weird demon mask thing. But yeah, I'd probably say that's the most memorable one for me.
Full Moon says first 2 seasons were great. After John D. Lanny left, it went downhill. Trenchy, have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen quite a bit of the first season. That's about it. But I like the show.
Have you any favorite episode that you can remember?
The Halloween episode where the ghost of the dead grandfather or whatever he was comes back to life and is getting help from a demonic little person, which is actually kind of like they call midgets Australian demons. I do not agree with that. Midgets are not Australian demons, but there's this little person and she's teleporting and she's like fighting the old person and like fucking with people the whole episode, and it's brilliant.
Nice.
Jen, Christian, have you any favorite episodes from that series?
I'm not too well versed in the series myself. I was always more of a Freddy's Nightmares girl.
Yeah, I've seen like one episode. That's about it.
I've seen a few, but none of them ever really stuck out. Like, but then I watched it when I was a dumb little kid, thinking it had more to do with Jason, and I was like, "Where the fuck is Jason? This is a bit of shit."
Yeah, no, I think I've seen the pilot maybe, but other than that, I don't think I've seen anything past it.
There was one cool episode I liked where it was kind of like Talking Tina, or from fucking Twilight Zone, where this little girl has a possessed teddy bear. And it's just fucking things up for people. I thought that was cool. But yeah, by and large, guys, I think we've covered the franchise. And like, fucking, despite there being no new movie, we got like fucking comic books. Wildstorm has done a fucking absolute fucking massive collection of kick-ass Friday the 13th comics. That some even go into like really interesting things, like how Crystal Lake was cursed by like a massacre of Native Americans. There's another one that goes on the origins of fucking Pamela Voorhees and the death of Jason, and also video games. There's a really cool video game out at the moment. If you've played it, it is single player, but you can only play as Jason. You can't play as the camp counselors, and it kicks ass. It's fun. Sorry, Ethel. Oh yeah, actually. I forgot about the other one. Ethel, do you want to talk about the other famous Friday the 13th game?
Well, first I thought you were talking about it, but Friday the 13th for the NES.
The NES
boy.
one.
Fucking I know that game, like, it pisses a lot of people off because it can be kind of complicated, and like you're rowing across the lake, and I understand that it's backwards, and like if you don't know that, then you're not going to make much progress. But like if you figure it out and you learn the game, it's actually a lot of fun to play. And Jason is really fucking hard to kill in that game. And he's purple. Fucking purple Jason.
It's purple.
I do love.
Got the Mike Tyson jumpsuit.
I do love me some purple Jason.
You can actually get a NECA version of that Jason.
I know.
Oh, also, Ethel, you probably know this, but isn't there like a kind of a cheat, not a cheat, but a way to make the game easier? If you go down a hidden path, you can find Pamela Voorhees' head, which you have to fight. It floats around like Medusa's head. You have to fight it, and then you get the jumper, and you've got extra kind of health bars because it acts as armor against Jason, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and the other secret to that game is switching between the correct counselors. Like, you want to make sure you use them strategically, because certain counselors are better in certain parts of the game. Like, some of them are better at fighting Jason, some of them are better at like friggin' dodging the zombies. Like, it's a whole thing.
Very cool.
Yeah, you do have to kind of have lessons in geometry to be able to hit the wolves and the zombies with the rocks. You have to like kneel down and just have to wait till they're like 3 paces away from you and pelt the rock at them. But yeah, the franchise is still pretty cool. And he's popular as ever, and he's had some good movies, and he's had some bad movies, but like the character himself, he keeps on coming back. But it would seem Jason has finally been defeated by copyright issues or ownership issues.
Sean Cunningham.
You the
God
true
damn it.
villain, the true villain of the franchise.
But where actually, Ethel, where can you see Jason? Where would you like to see Jason next? What would you like to see Jason do next if they did bring back the franchise?
Well, all right. I'd like to first let's leave that remake alone. That can be a standalone. Like we don't need to continue that. That's sort of no. Just leave it
When
that
you're
alone. It can stand there by itself in all its shame. And then we can go and we can continue from where we left off with Freddy versus Jason. Yes. You don't have to have Freddy in it anymore. That's fine. You know, Jason can always come back. We don't care. He's a zombie. He's immortal for whatever reason. He come back. Maybe pit him against some other iconic slasher / monster. Maybe just have him running amok, old school style. You know, let's bring it back to the roots, perhaps. Maybe get more into the mythology of the lake. Like, what's up with Crystal Lake? Maybe it really is haunted. Maybe there are other entities in the lake. Like, we could bring a whole thing into that. Be very interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Would you like to pit him against Ash and me? Because the Necronomicon was in Trenchy's favorite Friday movie, like, you know.
That's true.
There is a precedent set because we did have that comic book run of Freddy versus Jason versus Ash,
Jason versus Ash.
which was great. I have a few issues of that. That's a great run.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't actually. I know.
Oh, sorry, Ethel.
I was gonna say I know. I know Bruce Campbell said he was done, but like, it would be great to get that as a movie. That would be pretty cool.
Big truckload of money, and he's never done. Money can really make someone's artistic integrity malleable. Trenchy, what would you like to see Jason do next?
Oh, my thoughts are, I got two ideas. Either one, you can have a group of bounty hunters hunt Jason in the forest, and they kidnap Tommy, and they force him to help defeat Jason. Or two, and this is a more dumb idea, but the military captured Jason, and they send him to all these different countries to fight people, but he gets loose in the military base. And you could have Tommy there, or hell, forget about Jason Goes to Hell. Put a different version of Creighton Duke in there, and they gotta stop Jason in this military base from taking them all out.
We kind of got a taste of that at the start of Jason X. But yeah, it would be cool to have a movie that's set in between whatever and just before Jason X. How he came to be captured by the military. What do you think? A kind of prequel to Jason X, Trenchy?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that, but that's a good ass idea. I like how your mind.
It's your idea. Hey, gorgeous. What's your ideas for I love it, shoving him out of the way. What's your ideas for the next Friday the 13th movie?
For me, I would go way back. I know, and people probably are going to roll their eyes, but Jen's going to say it because this is what Jen feels. I would like to have a prequel movie about Pamela Voorhees' life before she goes crazy. I would like an origin story, and also find out about, maybe add the father aspect if he was just what's that all about, and just the whole, and you could even add the thing with the lake in too. Like there could be some origin story with the lake. I would like to go back and see what we could do with that, and really give Pamela a very meaty role. That's where I would be interested.
Did you read that comic I sent you, actually?
I did. I wish they could. I wonder if they could borrow some of that from the comics, or if they would have to But yeah, I'd be very cool to see it on the screen.
Jen, do you think you could do it like as a TV show, like Bates Motel?
I would be more for a movie myself. You probably could do it as a TV show and it might work, but I'm hesitant with TV shows. I am looking forward to the Child's Play one, but
it would have to be like a limited series, in my opinion, more so.
Maybe
than like a full-on season.
I would rather have a movie or a couple of movies. Just me personally.
Oh, before I go on to Christian, Full Moon says there's 2 episodes of the series. There's one with a scarecrow that's fun, and there's another one with Jack the Ripper's scalpel, which I always remember.
Ooh, that's
I
fun.
keep an eye out
Oh
for it.
yeah.
Very
Great.
cool.
Christian, what would you do? How would you reinvigorate the franchise? Or what would you like to see next?
Okay, so imagine this: we open. We're on a peaceful crystal-like lake. There's a summer camp. A bunch of kids are like, splashing around, having a good time. Only they're Martians because after Jason X, he landed on Mars and he's now at a Martian summer camp, and now he's running amok on Mars, and it's Martian summer camps.
That's perfection.
Yes, and at the end of the movie, the fucking leprechaun shows up. Thank you. That was a good idea there. Yeah.
And he could fight Jason with a lightsaber. They could have a lightsaber duel.
Yes, Jason could have a lightsaber machete, and the leprechaun can have his lightsaber from his movie. Hell, maybe even you could that could be like the third act reveal of, oh no, they have that's the Martian secret weapon is they have the leprechaun, and like maybe at the very end of the movie,
yes,
you could write it there about the
If you want this to continue, he has to go up for adoption.
No, but this is genius. Don't deny the genius.
This is yes, exactly. And right before
where do I sign, Marty? Where do I sign?
Right before Jason and the Leprechaun are gonna have their final clash in the movie, fucking who shows up? Pinhead shows up, and now it's a 3-way battle to find out who had.
Do they actually have a 3-way?
Yes, they have a 3-way battle of
I mean an actual 3-way.
Who had the best horror movie set in space. That's where I would take the Friday the 13th series. Mic drop.
I feel like if they had an actual 3-way, Jen, Pinhead would be a switch.
Yeah, Pinhead would definitely be a switch.
Yeah, you're right on that one. I'll agree with you on that.
Okay, guys. So, 5 years from now, new president. He's anemic. He's dying. So they capture Jason and give the president a blood transfusion, and he slowly turns into Jason Voorhees. And it's not that he's immortal, but he starts murdering people, but the Secret Service, when anyone tries to kill him, they shoot whoever tries to kill President Jason.
Okay, so Jason is like a werewolf. Okay.
Yeah, but
cool.
President Jason is slowly turning into Jason Voorhees, and it turns out the guy who's the president is like the great grandnephew of JFK, and the only way to kill him is to get Lee Harvey Oswald's rifle and shoot him in the head.
Interesting.
What do you
premise.
think?
Interesting premise. It could work. I mean, Stephen King did a whole book about it, sort of, not about Jason, but it could work. There's a market for it.
President Voorhees.
Yes.
Hey,
Voorhees a jolly good fellow.
Voorhees a jolly good. God damn it.
Trench, what you think?
One, does he look like Jason in any part in the film? And 2, he only does Jason things, right? He doesn't like do incest or shave people.
No. There is a scene where someone brings their baby over for him to kiss it, and he just smashes it off a wall.
Oh, I'm in.
So wait,
yeah,
so he's
sold.
I'm in.
He's not going around and forcibly hugging people or sniffing their hair.
No, he's not.
No.
Or
Okay.
grabbing women by the pussy. He's not doing that either. He's just chopping people up with a machete and smashing babies off them. And Tommy Jarvis, it turns out, is a descendant of Lee Harvey Oswald. Jarvis Oswald. See, it works. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
I'm okay with that. Lee Harvey Oswald was misunderstood anyways.
Wow.
He was a fucking communist. Dear God.
I was making a joke. You get.
And this is why we can never become executives at movie studios.
Okay, guys. Ethel, what's next? What's next for 13 Originals? What's next on the agenda?
All right. Well, right now we're doing the voting for the next watch along, and right now it's between Battle of the Worlds, Hercules against the Moon Men, Scream Bloody Murder, and Brother from Another Planet. And right now in the lead, well, actually we're dead even right now because Deacon just voted. We're neck and neck between Scream Bloody Murder and Hercules against Moon Men. So if you haven't voted, hit me up on
Hercules the Moon Men. Please vote for Hercules.
Hercules.
Like hit
Christian,
me
you
up on
gotta
Twitter.
vote, man.
If you haven't voted, hit me up on Twitter. You decide what we watch. So like make it happen, man. Don't make me be a tiebreaker.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Exactly.
Trench, what's next for the Souless Trenchcoat or the Souless Trenchcoat?
Oh, I don't know, man. Like, hopefully I'll be able to get that anime tag done. It's just some of the questions are hard. But, like, I'm actually working on that. And, if I watch a movie, I might review it. But we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Very cool.
My dear, my lover, my joy, my heart. What's next for you and your top hat and spawn?
Well,
I have a hat.
You have a hat. We're gonna be doing some reviews. Of the One Shutter movie. That's gonna help everybody.
Yeah, the reviews are coming. Might be a couple days because our internet provider is being a asshole and a butthole and various other anus-related holes. So we are going to be down for another day or two, but hopefully we'll be back by the middle of the week with full force and some reviews of stuff.
And we've got some reviews.
Well, yeah, you and me, we got a crossover to do.
Yes,
And
we
yes,
do.
you
I tell you, again, I really hope that internet sorted because I need to see the Christian Antro Danzig review of the century.
God damn it.
Death
Yeah,
Rider.
you got to get a hold of Fiend tonight, boy.
Fuck's sake.
I'm all about this life too. Like you and Anthro, I mean, that's going to be a hell of a combination. A rocker and a vampire.
Combination. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like cake and ice cream.
Like Cagney and Lacey. Like Cagney and Lacey.
Cagney and Lacey. Yes. Who's who though? I don't know. Well, yeah, big shout out. Full Moon, thanks for joining us. Corey, King Need Gore, thanks for joining us. Reverie Reviews, thanks for joining us. Ben Grimm, thanks for joining us. John Steele, thanks for joining us. I know there was other people watching as well. Thanks for tuning in. I've been joined by the absolutely awesome and gorgeous Jen's Reviews from the Grave, our awesome son Christian, the fabulous and fantastic Ethel Cross, and the absolute legend that is the Souless Trenchcoat. Join me next Sunday where I will be discussing human beings versus nature in the woods. So, yeah, have a good one, guys. Take care, and good night.